Good morning. All right. You guys know what time it is. It is stream time. I was actually going to try and be on right at 10:30 today, not give the little wiggle time, but I installed a new hard drive because my storage space was getting eaten up by my video editing stuff. And yeah, I was basically quickly running out of space. And so I was going to install a new hard drive, which I did. But then the problem with that was in my head, I was like, oh yeah, before I stream, I need to remember to change the recording settings based on the new hard drive. And I went to go do that and I couldn't figure it out. Not that I didn't know how to do it, it got grayed out because something else was interacting with it and yada yada yada. So while I was here and ready, I am an idiot and bungled it as usual. But anyway, let's get started, right? Hopefully everything's squared away now, despite it being a little different here. I guess we'll just play it by ear and see if anything gets messed up with the new setup I've got here in the computer. It seems to be running fine though, but I feel like every time I change stuff on my end from a stream side or a PC side, something bungles and I don't know. Like the one time I was talking for like 20 minutes and there was no audio and somebody in chat was like, hey man, you know we can't hear you, right? And I'm like, you son of a gun. So hopefully none of that kind of scenario today. But yeah, let's get to it. I've got one thing in particular that I am unbelievably excited to watch, and that is the new season 2 trailer for Marvel Rivals. My friends sent the like screen grabs of it, so like it was already spoiled, but I haven't actually like watched it. It's only like a minute. I haven't watched it yet, so I'm really excited to actually get my eyes on it. I'm already excited. I know they weren't too jazzed because it's more like formal attire and different things like that, like nothing over the top. But there's a couple notable standouts for me, and so I am definitely looking forward to the season, but then also watching it. I am good, Burlost. Just starting up. Like I said, trying to get stuff situated, and then we can look through the art as we do, and then pop over to the trailer. Okay. So I noticed when I pulled up this one, so normally I'll pull up 5, right? I was like, I'm gonna pull up 6 today and take a peek and look at some cool stuff that way. But I'm apparently really vibing with this studio because I realized when I clicked on these, same company, whatever this is, 2 Art Studio. Don't know who they are. I guess we'll find out today. Clearly, I like them though, because we see them here. But anyway, you know me. I'm instantly, there's a vibe check, right? And so the chunky style got me. You know me. This cool green. I feel like green is student artwork. So what is this? So okay, we'll look into what they do. Different color grading. This is actually kind of part of, that's spoiler, that has something to do with what I feel like drawing today. This weird like tentaculiness. That sounded weird, tentaclous, whatever. Oh, I don't know why this shield is dope. I didn't even realize what this was at first. Like it's such a cool subtle pattern at first glance because it just looks like almost like a star pattern, but it's actually like some sort of, religious figure in these guys like in the front bowing. I like that. I actually found out, fun fact, I think it's the east. I actually don't remember the direction, but apparently churches, I can't remember at what point, changed where they face. So when they're built, the sun actually shines through the stained glass windows behind them. And so it appears that they have like an ethereal glow behind them during sermons, which gives a more angelic, heavenly appearance, which is wild to think that, like, I think they all face east, all Catholic churches or something like that. so that the light in the mornings makes them look holy, which is smart and weird. And I'm not here to talk about religion. But I am here to talk about art. And I'm vibing with this. I like how this, I don't know if this is purposeful or not, but to me it's like an inadvertent little smiley face, which is kind of adorable. Oh, that was a quick follow. I appreciate it. Thank you. My follow notifications I've set up like 3 different times, and apparently I'm an idiot. I get them to my phone, it pops up, but it doesn't pop up on stream right now, and I don't know why, but I will fix that at one point. I've said that 1,000 times though, but one day. But this is cool. I like this. I like this a lot, and I'm curious to see. We'll close out of this one and look at the studio after. Then we look at this. So what is when they're not in? When there's no description, it throws me off because I do always like to read what they've got to say about it. But obviously we can't hear. So this one got me because of this. So the thumbnail for this one had this guy. And whenever I see a mouth like this, one, cool vampire thing. I like the idea of like a huge mask and all this stuff. Also, I love these like black and white little like animation, like almost like vibe checks of like poses and actions. I really like that. No, the stomach reminds me always as a fighting game fan. And I actually have a giant Soul Calibur. Where is it? It's right there. I don't know if you guys can really see it that well with the lighting, but it's right there. Big Soul Calibur 2 art up there. But yeah, I always think of Nightmare. Always. Not Base Nightmare. The like crazy monster version in Soul Calibur 4, is it? I think when he gets like the crazy stomach, like like already Nightmare is like the demonic form already of Siegfried. Oh. Yeah, Nightmare was sick. You bought an iPad with an Apple Pencil. Yeah, he normally had the like the eye, but then when in the monster form in 4, I think they gave him that mouth. Yeah, Apple is definitely a thing to draw on. Oh, hey, you're back. Welcome back. But yeah, I actually draw on my iPad too. Normally, I wouldn't draw on my iPad, but in this office, the Cintiq is in the other room, so iPad it is. And I know a lot of people, we all use the iPad nowadays because it's just so easy to grab, throw wherever you need to bring it. The applications are pretty solid, pretty cheap comparatively. I really like all of these teeth. Is that like a design motif throughout, or just no, that's just hers. She got teeths. I like it. Even in the pipe, you've got these teeth and all the jester masks. I love when they take a design thing and they just run with it, right? And that's, I feel like, a good sign of a sign of good design when that vibe goes throughout, you know, like this hat looks like it matches this pipe, looks like it matches this sword so well. The jester faces creep me out. They always do. One day though, like, so this guy is pretty ugly, right? Giant brow, huge nose, bald, ugly. I want an ugly lady, right? They're always so pretty, even the monsters. Like, ooh, I'm a vampire monster, but I'm hot as hell. Like, my animal's hideous, and my other friend is a man who's hideous, but don't worry, even in monster form, I'm hot. Okay, so let's see what else they do. Thank you. Yeah, so what the YouTube right now is basically just all the recordings from the streams. And a lot of the earlier streams, especially, when I'm not yapping as much, they're a lot more instructional for sure. So they've got a lot of nice little like things, how I break designs down, or how I, you know, handle certain things to draw or paint or concept and stuff. But one day I'll get to actually doing like full on like lesson videos, but that takes, I'm still learning video editing, and I think it's going well, but It's a skill in its own right. Okay, let's look at all of these. When we find a new, like, person to follow, I feel like sometimes I get overwhelmed. Like, there's just, like, especially like a studio like this where they've got just, like, I could do an entire stream just looking through all of these, right? That's great. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's like, man, I get overwhelmed really quick because this is just one tab. This was one tab I just clicked on. What is this place? This is a magical art. They have 1,729 pieces of art. What the heck? This is so much to, okay. Well, we'll just look at one tab today because I don't think we can look at all of these things and make it all fit on stream. But man, I want to look at them all. Okay, never mind. Let's just pop open a couple of these that catch our eye. This one looks cool because this kind of reminds me of Fang Li's stuff that we studied a few weeks back. I always love like more of like native energy. I like that they've got a lot of these. I like the different body shapes just looking. Ooh, brushes. See, that's the thing that I always get. Like, people always ask about brushes, whether you see, I've had people ask, I've had people, whenever you look on other people's stuff, people always ask, just use what they've got. Like, at the end of the day, like, when I pop into Procreate later, I can show you more specifically, but like, I have a lot of brushes, but they just basically are variations of what is in default. So like, the essential brushes are all there, which is pretty cool. Like Procreate knows what they're doing. And so a lot of their stuff is, you just need a good sketching brush. You need maybe a good inking brush and a good painting brush. And so while it's easy to say like, ooh, get so-and-so's brush or get this brush or get that brush, really what the goal should be, especially if you're learning, is find the brushes that are already there that work for you, right? Because you can go out and get just like this, right? This art station has 1,800, almost 2,000 pictures to look at. I can't appreciate them all, right? And I can't look at all of those. But it's kind of the same idea with all the brushes. You can download a billion brushes and this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. But really, you just get inundated by choice at that point. And so just taking what's in Procreate and using, and instead of looking for more, look for what works, right? And so just find what brushes you vibe with and what feel comfortable to make a mark. And then go from there. Like, then after you get more comfortable, sure, move on and look at other stuff. But definitely just find what works for you right now. Because I was victim to that too, where like, when I was younger, when I first started on Photoshop in like 15, 20 years ago, I always was like, I'm going to get so-and-so's brushes or this or that. And then at the end of the day, I used the hard round brush. Like literally the default Photoshop brush is what I use 90% of the time. Like it was just, ooh, I like this. I like when I just talked about how they have like, when they have an idea of the animation, because all of a sudden this character image, you can picture them doing this then in such a cool way. I mean, I just talked about monsters being ugly, but I'm always a sucker for like a demon lady with big old horns. Like, I'm a simple man at the end of the day, you know? That said, gorgeous demon woman, hideous demon man. Classic. So this is weird pet peeve of mine. Okay, you guys ready for pet peeve? I'm a muscle person, right? Above me, right there is my bodybuilding shelf. I go to the gym all the time. I love human anatomy. I studied biology in school. Like, I'm a sucker for how the human body is drawn. And this is something that happens a lot that I don't know why it annoys me as much as it does. When people simplify this shape like this. Do you see right here? It's not letting me zoom in. I don't feel like opening it so different, but you can see, get the vibe, right? Does this one let me maybe a little bit? Okay, that's a little clearer. So this is just a minor weird complaint. Control plus. Am I that dumb? Holy sh... Oh, weird. Control, what the what just happened? Is that tied to like a Control plus? Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Control plus. It must be like a default scene change for OBS. So it definitely zoomed in. Thank you, Lopology. I'm an idiot that that's all you need to do. But also Control plus and Control minus are apparently hotkeys. Because this switches to... What are the other ones? Well, apparently... So I'm just going to have to... If I zoom in, I just need to switch back. Well, yeah, good to know that Control plus zooms. But no, so these on the human body... Ooh, you know what? Here, let me grab... I've got my... I'm going to have to cover his crotch because, you know, it's pee-pees. But hold on. Okay. So I've got all my écorché models. Where it's like a half skin, half muscle. So I'm going to put my hand over his crotch. So don't mind me because this is YouTube and you can't see that. But so like the body here, right? Let's see if you can zoom in. Ooh, boop. Okay. So like your obliques here connect to the latissimus on the side there, right? So they are definitely like those kind of muscles. They almost look like I equate it similar to like a basket weaving is kind of how your muscles connect back there, right? And it definitely does look like big rectangles kind of. But there's something about when they're simplified like this then, where they're just like chunks, right? Like that doesn't look like it's an interlock. Like that's my thing, is that space is like literally woven, right? It's tying your ribs to your lats essentially. And so when you just have these big old blocky chunks, I don't know why that always bugs me. It always has. Apparently it always will. I don't know. I'm not a fan of the chunks. And now you know. That said, this looks really cool. There's something about the oblique area that I get weirdly picky with. That said, this person is very like chunky, rocky texture. Or like, you know, like this collarbone is its own. It's, oh my gosh, the sternocleidomastoid, the trapezius, like all these things are giant chunks. So like it fits for this style, but that was just, you know, a rant of mine. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to go grab the model and cover his wiener. That's really, you know, that was what I wanted to do. Don't mind me. I felt like I had something massive in my pocket just now. Did you guys ever do that where all of a sudden you go in your pocket and it's multiple dryer sheets? They got wedged in a pocket. That was me with these pants, apparently. Whoops. Okay. But back to this one. So this one definitely looks like Feng Li's. I think I had another one of Feng Li's pieces that they posted just the other day up here too. Because again, I absolutely love their art and I will look at it every day if I can. But I like the soft nature of this. Like that other thing, that other piece of theirs was very hard, right? Where this is just super chunky simplification. A lot of airbrushy. I like it. Again, I'm trying to not get, because I can sit here forever with this person's page or this group's page. Oh, this is Horizon vibes with like the blues and like the fur, and like it looks like there's still like some tech to it. I feel like this feels not like super Horizon Zero Dawn, but like definitely has that energy in a way that I like. I like this motif with like these eyes, like the glowy eyes, like even on this, like the Maori kind of like statues, like these eyes still feel similar to like, right? Like this, to you know, these, like, they're just different basic shapes, but they all still feel similar, which I like. What kind of sword? Like, man, what do you do? Think of functionally, okay? This sword. What do you, is that just like a, you just hack into something and have to pull it back out? Like a sword's meant to cleave through, but if you got big old teeth like that in a sword form, do you just like jam it into something and then gotta wedge it back out? That seems not very practical. Cool looking, but seems difficult from an actual fighting perspective. Nobody cares about that though. Swing big sword, look cool. Oh, so this is similar. It fell, but then I scrolled down and immediately you've got like more of Moroccan vibes here. I appreciate when they do this, right? The color palette. I just think that's really, it's smart, one, because obviously when you're doing character designs, you need to have that information anyway. It's important. But like even just from a viewer perspective, there's something weirdly pleasing about looking at a detailed character and then seeing their colors just like bloop, and that's the representation of them and what colors they exist in. It's weirdly, what the, this weird little gremlin goblin something with a single teardrop. That's weird. She likes to play tricks on small animals. A goblin tied to a branch as her staff. That, I can say I've seen a lot of things when it comes to fun designs. I don't believe I've ever seen a small little girl with a giant wooden staff and a crying goblin wrapped to it as her weapon. Pretty much can say that's a first. Who knows? Maybe it's a trend and it won't be the last now. That's the new thing. Man, you can do no wrong when you just make like a mushroom design. Like, such a good hat always. And then you can keep that color scheme and the motif throughout all of the pieces. I like that. I don't know if I've seen that before. I like that idea that like the mushroom is the cork. I like it. Very cute. Again, I can sit here forever. I'm not gonna. I want to. Really, really want to. All right, we gave him a follow. I'm sure the way things work next week, it'll pop up again because it'll come up in the, you know, my explore tab because I followed them and they clearly post stuff all the time. What is this that they've got? I was just curious what their website was. I don't even know what I'm looking at here. Couldn't tell you. Is it like speed paints you're buying? Oh. Is it like speed paints and or classes, it looks like? Huh. There's a lot. Oh. You've heard of this? Billy? I have not. I immediately started playing it and it was playing licensed music. So I was like, oh crap, YouTube, you heard nothing. Apparently they can get away with licensed music on this though. Yeah, it looks like it's just, is this like their live stream? That's what it feels like. It looks like this is just live streams of their stuff. Is there, I feel like whenever I want Google to do the translate, it doesn't do it. Translate the whole page. What? Doesn't detect anything? Okay, there we go. Classes offline and online. Students work, blah, 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 blah. Huh. This looks very intriguing. Watch HD videos for free. Huh. I may need to look into this. This looks interesting just to see some cool stuff that people are doing. They've got classes on here, 10 minutes, 2 hours here, 4 hours. Huh. Obviously, it's not going to be in English. The you know, the speaking, the dictation of it, but visuals are enough still. Weird. Huh. We may have found something cool. One day, I will look back at that. But not on stream, apparently, because I don't need more licensed music. I don't need a copyright strike. I barely even started the YouTube page. No. But yeah, Fang had some stuff. Again, like I said, they always pop up in the feed then. And when I see it, just like Lorcana, I'm gonna look at it. So then, see what else. So this is what we didn't see this one. This was 2 days ago. Yeah. The way that they do their skin, I just really like it. The really nice reds in there always. And purples. I've talked about, you know, that's why I studied their stuff. I would like to get better at doing what they do. Yeah, I'm going to probably do more of their studies offline again, just because every time they post stuff, I'm like, yep, I like this. I must learn. Gorgeous stuff. But okay, speaking of things that I see and need to click on, Marvel Snap. Marvel Snap and Lorcana usually. So, a little Hulkling. Weird. Oh man, I already follow them, so I don't have to be worried. Oh, they're the ones who did the Ares. There we go. I've said it time and time again now. Like, I want Ares as a tank in Marvel Rivals. I already thought about his moveset. I want it. I need it. He'll have some cool battle cry moves. He'll be able to throw an axe. We need him. It's interesting though, because I feel like he's not necessarily like a character that a lot of people know outside of the comic books and understand that he's actually a relatively common character within the comic books. But I feel like most like MCU people or people who just know, you know, like know of the characters, they'd be like, what that? Isn't that from Hercules? Or, you know, like something like some weird thing where it's like, no, he fits in. The different pantheons exist. But yeah. Valentine Peruel. Little hobbit hole. Not necessarily a hole, but. Damn, even just that sketch looked really clean. Right? Ooh. I almost like the sketch more. I'm a sucker for like nice like lines like that. I like how I like watching these where it's like they had the idea of like a father and a son or grand, you know, like, and they're like, F it, no people, just building. Which is honestly fair. The characters would have distracted. Ooh, lots of colorful environment pieces. This one caught my eye. Oh, they've done stuff with Dragon Prince? Oh, the game. I didn't realize that was a game, or maybe I did. Dragon. I don't remember this. You know I'm gonna have to Google this now. This is really pretty. I like these colors and like how it's like heavily in shadow. These like floating islands. This is a show that I really liked this show, but I also then didn't like it. I never finished it. It was one that just I like the idea a lot more than what it came to be. Dragon Prince game? Tales of Zadia. Oh, is this a Netflix game? What? Oh, this is a what? Plays hero-based action RPG. Is an action? Oh. What are we looking at? Oh, I mean, the quality is kind of poopy. Okay, there we go. I mean, I'm sure it's bare bones as heck from like an actual gameplay perspective, but that actually looks really fun. How did it's like a Diablo-esque kind of. Okay, how did I seriously not know about this? Is it like a weird thing where it's like only on mobile or something? Oh, yep. Damn it. That was why I probably didn't know about it. Play it on Google. I don't want to do that. I want to play a real game on a dumb. Never mind. No longer excited about the thing. I don't know why. I'm never a fan of when games have to only be on mobile. I just don't play games on my phone. And so when they're only on the phone, to me, that's like a wash then. Like, cool. I guess I'm not going to play it. Which is why I was so stoked when Splintered Fate, the Ninja Turtle game that was Apple, finally came to consoles. Hello Kitty Island Adventure, was Apple and finally came to consoles. The consoles are where it's at, man. Ruins were like, something like this is so overgrown. Immediately tells such a story. Yeah, Hello Kitty. Just because by its nature, to have a tree this large, right? This is like thousands of years, a tree this large, presumably. Overgrown over this giant statue of, this face. Like, what happened here? How old are these ruins? This world itself, how old is this, right? So, like, stuff like this can add, you can be hit with so many questions and you want to learn more. I think is always great storytelling. Oh, this is clean. That reminds me, I never watched Maya. Was it Maya and the Three or something like that? I need to watch that one still. The animated movie. Wasn't it Maya and the Three? Oh, look at me. It wasn't a movie, it was a mini series. Like it was a singular. Yeah, this looked fun. But as per my usual, it kind of just fell to the side. It had like almost Troll Hunters energy to me, but then with like Mayan theme. One day. Or maybe not. Okay. Last one is, whoopsies, Fedorov from the Ukraine or Russia or somewhere. I like that little metal bit on his nose, it looks like. So this was this Batman Last Night, an unfinished personal project in my universe. Batman is a former military man who returned to Gotham after his service. He took the bat image because his band was called Mouse. I guess I don't get the connection between that. They made their way into the enemy's camp and staged sabotage. When he returned to the city, he couldn't do anything else but what he knew. Alfred, his former commander, retired, helps his friend. It grammatically kind of obviously a little off because clearly English isn't the first language, which is better than me, who English is my only language. Batman has a drone, which he named Robin. Okay, I like this. Oh. This feels, Dom Murphy, the artist, goes by Scruffy Shenanigans. He does turnarounds like this, and they look very similar style, too. I like this. Where is it? Ooh, so much character exploration with his face, even. I like these emotions. Like, even when he's beat to hell, he's still just, let's do it. Okay, this is really fun. I'm excited to see what else this person's done, actually, now. Holy cow. I don't know if I like that Joker. Wearing Crocs? A Croc wearing Joker? Get out of here. Get out of here. No, we don't take Conley to your con here. Okay, but the turnaround actually does look pretty cool. I like that the way his hair is, he feels like a Oh really? Fred Arsenal. Let me look that up. Fred Arsenal. Damn. 3 days ago. You are right. Look at that. Why are they blurry as hell? Oh, they're 4K images, so they're still loading. Jeez. Y'all people in your 4K. I got 1K. Okay, there we go. Damn. That was a good eye that you already saw that one. Dang. That is really fun. I really, really like this design. And I like the idea too. Almost, because it almost mixes like Punisher vibes with Batman then. Oh, is the front page of ArtStation for you? That's funny. Honestly, I think this was the front page of ArtStation for me a couple days ago, because there was a few things that I noted a few days back that I was like, man, I really need to make sure I look at this on Thursday. And then when I was looking at it today, I couldn't find it, but I totally do remember seeing the thumbnail of this face actually now. So it probably was on mine. Ooh, black and white. Is it game? It said game ready, yeah, somewhere in the descriptions. Holy crap, this guy did, just the amount of rendering this person did. What is going on? This is like 30 pages of just renders. He just can't stop, won't stop. Okay. Dang, yeah, that's not bad. Only 50K basically. And it looks pretty mobile still. You know, like a dense enough mesh for sure. That would make sense. He has a course for. How does he have a course for it? He made it 3 days ago. I mean, I guess if he posted it 3 days ago. How old is this? But this was posted too. What? I'm confused. Dude just posted this 2 days ago. But this was posted 3 days ago. He's a time traveler. Fred Arsenal, the time traveler. What the deuce? Unless they posted it on something else at some point before. Oh, okay, the concept. He posted on Instagram. I was like, this doesn't add up. He doesn't have an Instagram, it shows here, though. Oh, that's weird. He does here. Well, it looks like we are giving... Oh, yeah. Oh, 1,000 times yes, we are giving this person a follow. Look at these silly designs. Ooh. Yes. Yes. Scorpion has... Oh, what the... I'm glad... I'm sure you found something over the time. Yeah, I forget who I follow at this point. There's too many. Especially now that like not as many people use Instagram as much. I forget too. I feel like I have seen this before though. This looks like, now that I'm thinking of it, this does look familiar. Yeah, that Mysterio is amazing. Like absolutely amazing. I don't know why I've never seen an image like that with Mysterio, but like it's one of those things when you see it and you think, this is how it should be, right? And you're like, how has no one else thought of this? Because this looks perfect. Like, that's kind of what that vibe was. Okay, so this person's been posting a good chunk of these, like, for a while. They'd been working on it. Which obviously makes sense. This is a lot of work. I don't know how much I like Donatello. I kind of am vibing with little kid Mikey and his hat. Like weird biker Raph and the golden tooth I'm okay with. Leo even as like this weird somber, like very business, very whatever. That poor Donnie. Donnie always gets nerdy looking, but sometimes it's like, all right, don't make him look like an idiot though. Not my boy Donatello. Okay, as we scroll, some of these are kind of weird. Not my favorite. But as we talk, when we look, oh, I feel like I've seen this before too. With the different Hokages. Yes, I've seen this 1,000%. I've seen this before. Man, yeah. Oh, and I've seen this before. We looked at this on ArtStation before. We literally looked at this. How do I not follow this person? What the? We looked at this. I remember looking at this. I don't know, man. We look at too much stuff. Because I've 100%, yeah, how am I not following this person? I recognize all of this stuff. And they're only 22 years old? Oh my God, when I see that, it makes me feel like such a schmuck. 22 years old. And they are absolutely astonishing. Like their craft is so well honed. Oh my God, the thing with like mutton choppy beard thing. Oh, this person's very fun. I very much enjoy your stuff, Dimitri. Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna gush. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna look at their stuff after stream again. Just my own, because we're getting carried away way too much. And I like, oh, so I liked this. So I must have just not given them a follow on accident. For some reason. Weird. Oh, this is some cool stuff. Because it was Death in the Toilet. Yeah, I like this. Because it was a whole design of all, yes. Okay, so I'm not going crazy. I do remember these. I did it. We got there. And the Naruto fan art was probably here with the Hokages somewhere. Yep. Which I liked already. Okay. See? I'm not crazy. You know what? That deserves a Dove chocolate. Success. Success deserves chocolate, right? I got up, not early today, but like I've been trying really hard to make sure I get up like right at 9. Consistently throughout like every day. Like normally sometimes I'll get up at 9:45, I get up at 10. Like my timeline's been borked, but I've been really trying hard to be pretty structured where every morning by like 9 o'clock I am awake. Do I get out of bed necessarily? Not always. Sometimes I roll out of bed at like 9:10, but I'm up at 9. But so that means my coffee and my breakfast is notably earlier before stream. So I feel like I'm gonna get hungrier then before even. Okay. So I already followed this person to the 3D artist. With good reason. I remember a lot of these. I mean, a senior character artist at Epic. Like, you don't even have to show me your stuff and I'm probably already sold. A shark pirate? Yes, please. There's the new Mondo. This bad boy. Look at him. Look at this ripster. I did not know he came with accessories. What is this accessory? It keeps showing it, but like I don't see where it starts or ends. Okay, so it's just a little gravel piece like that. Oh, and he has a different faceplate. I haven't looked into this. I've just seen the images of it from toy shows. So it looks like, yeah, it pops off right there. Huh. I almost wish it didn't have interchangeable faceplates, though. Because one of the things about these soft vinyls is I like how clean they look. Immediately you see that seam. I get it, though, wanting to have two different expressions, but yeah. All I know is Mondo's got way too much stuff going on. They've got a Ramona. Oh, a limited edition black and white. The Tila. The Doom one was looking so good. Do they still have the Ninja Turtle ones even available, I wonder? Oh, yeah, that Nego Ramona looks good. And it's glow in the dark. Yeah, these two are the ones that I'm still really, really, really debating. I every time I look at them, they bring me joy. Like the Turtles and Super Shredder, not even as much, but Mondo and Ray Fillet, they just... I don't know. Can't afford that right now. No, can't justify the cost of that right now. Ooh, I didn't know Doom was 175. Yikes. But he also looks amazing. They're doing really, really cool stuff over at Mondo. But speaking of cool stuff, finally, I get to watch this trailer. Again, I saw the pictures of it, but haven't actually watched it. I turned off the volume just because I don't know about copyright things. I still have not gathered how that works, and I already got one possible here, so not risking it. So give us Emma a nice celebration here at Krakoa. Black Panther, Steve Rogers, Black Widow. Yeah, Hulk is really... I know my buddies mentioned it too. I'm curious to see what his transformed for, like, the actual Hulk version looks like, not just Bruce Banner. That'll look cool. I'm trying to see if they snuck somebody else in here. Doesn't look like it. This is the money here, though. 100%. I'm buying the Psylocke skin without question. If it's in the battle pass, even better. But like 1000%, I am getting this skin. The fact that they're doing such a good job at NetEase of taking these designs, right? So the blue and the blue and the yellow, classic X-Men colors, right? I am a massive X-Men nerd. And so those colors are the, like, when I see those colors together, even, that's what I think of. I think of X-Men. And so the fact that they can take these designs, but like plus them, right? Like, look at this. Obviously, Psylocke, this is not what her original costume looked like. With these pinks, right? And the butterfly logo on the chest, not at all. Same with Magic. Like, but I just can't get over how well they combine stuff. Oh, we finally see the Doombot guy, though. So are we going to see him sooner than later? Because he's been in the story this whole time, but we haven't actually, like, seen him do anything in the game yet. Oh, there's Psylocke. She's getting ready. Looks like they gave her a bigger butt in this one. Oh, what in the ever... Look at this. Look at this. Are you guys seeing this? Boom. Oh, that looks so good. Magic and Psylocke. Oh, some of my favorite X-Men, like, of the females, some of the best. You throw in Rogue and maybe Kitty Pryde. But, like... And maybe Spiral. Spiral's pretty cool from X-Men. But she's not... And I digress. That is such a cool shot. I love that so much. And forming it into the big X. Ooh. Huge. That looks real good. This scene right here, when he comes out of this portal and this fight. Oh my, I can't get over how much I love this shot. This shot of the two of them. Swink. And it's so X-Men themed again. So, like, for me, so unbelievably sold. Giving me all X-Men. And pretty much this whole group is basically from the X-Men, right? Because it's on Krakoa. So we've got Steve and Black Panther and Black Widow and Hulk. But, like, it's like they're coming in, right? Like, the Avengers are coming in, portaling into Krakoa to see the mutants. And then Loki's not a mutant, but, you know, he do what he do. God. Okay. I am intrigued again, like I said, by the Doombot patrol sentry thingy. I'm putting money on it now that they always do like a side event in the season Marvel Rivals has done. And I'm guessing right here, we see Patch. He is like clearly communicating with someone doing something. I think the event thing, like the free skin with like the different challenges to do each week or each couple days. I'm guessing it has something that it's going to be like centered around patch, like investigating something. I'm calling it now. Not gonna lie though, the Hellfire thing for Scarlet Witch seems like unnecessary, seeing as we already got a Hellfire outfit for her. Unless that is the same one, and it just looks a little different in this light. I'll have to look up the game later. Either way, I am unbelievably sold and excited. I don't think they've posted anything else, right? No. Just this Thor costume that I'm going to be hella tempted to get. But I was saying, it looks really cool, right? The design looks amazing. Absolutely awesome. The heavy golds for the feet and the giant gauntlets and this huge cape. But again, they changed the FOV for these videos, but like his cape looks kind of annoying to even see anything. Like, yes, obviously you can play as the Hulk and do all these things who are huge, but like if you're used to playing a skin and seeing certain things, that looks unbelievably busy. That said, I think I'd still get it just because it looks dope and I don't give an F. It's all about looking good, right? That's all that matters. Okay. So I think we're done. April 11th. When is that? Is that next Friday? Thursday? Yeah, next Friday. Damn. It's happening, you guys. It's happening. Okay. So now to actual like art stuff. Now that we're very far into the day. Do I have everything? Okay. All right. Let's get some tunes. Let's get the iPad set up here. I've been listening to another. Why is Spotify installing? Another company called Bits and Hits that they do lo-fi stuff that I've been liking. So we'll do some of theirs. Just click on Bits and Hits Radio. Let's see what they've got for us today. They do like Skyrim and all these different, like more fantasy games, which I'm cool with. But I don't hear anything. Okay. Listening to lo-fi stuff is always weird because like I don't know if it's just not playing or it's chill, right? Like it's like a chill, slow start. Let me tune it down a little on my end. Wow. What a band. So many weird, Twitch is weird, man. Get so many spammy bot things with like, yeah. Okay. So today, as per usual, apparently, I've not been in like a specific mood to draw anything, like a particular thing. And lately I keep doing like different studies on things and whatnot. And I do need to finish some characters, right? Because like I've got my Psylocke basically done. I don't know why I've not finished her. I just need to like clean her up a little. And then I really need to do my Sue Storm, the Malice skin, because I've been working on that video and I'm almost nearing the end of that one. But here, where do we go? iPad drawing. But like, definitely need to finish Sue, the Malice skin. So this is one right here. Gotta finish her. And then gotta finish Psylocke. Who Psylocke, in my mind, I can almost call her done. I just wanted to do like the little blade. But she can be done enough. So like all of these don't require a lot of time. I did finish Daredevil and I posted him finally the other day. But for right now, I just wanted to do, as I've enjoyed my starter stuff of just doing some gestures in the beginning, right? I've enjoyed that. I think it works well. So I'm going to keep doing that today again, just for a little bit. Again, nothing crazy. This page is kind of full, so we can close. What is... Oh, I did like an outline. Delete that. I don't give a fart. So we can close these out and let's just do a new page or a new layer of just doing a couple quick sketches. Not sure if, who was it? Burlos. Not sure if you're still here, but, I guess I can just note, regardless whether you're here or not, the brushes. So like, even here, like a lot of these brushes, like I've got a lot that I work with, but at the end of the day, all it really is a sketchy brush, which is something Procreate has already. So like Procreate by its nature has the sketch brush, and I would use the Derwent starting out on Procreate, right? Like Derwent is a pencil. It looks exactly the same basically functionally as the pencil brush I use. I just prefer mine over time, but this is a pencil. That's all you need, right? And it's got like, you can do the shading with it on the side, clean, you can change it to like, it feels nice, right? And then the same thing, it's like, okay. And then inking, they've got the one, it had a funny name, Syrup, right? I used this one. That's it. Sketch brush, ink brush, and then there's a lot of these. You can do any of them, but cool kids just use like, if depending on the inking or how you're painting, like just do basic, square, or round. Like you don't need a whole lot of tools. You just need to know how to use them properly. And so all the brushes are just permutations of that, right? Like everything you use is just a different version of that same thing. So if you know really well, like, yeah, I have the thing I sketch in, the thing I ink in, and the thing I paint with. That's all you really need to grasp. And then once you have that, sure, you can get more fun with like finding more patterns or textures and things you like to use. But really, just using the basic things that Procreate has is my step one. I always would say to do. Like, there's no point in getting other things when Procreate has it all already. Like, yes, you can see I've got a lot, but I also just always still use my basic things, or the ones I've made. Then, like, I'll take things and just make them myself. But yeah. Anyway, drawing, right? No. So I don't have, okay. There's boobies visible, so I can't let you guys see this. Or there will be boobies visible once I click on it. Okay. So I'm just gonna start sketching a little bit. I do have an idea of something I want to mess with later for an actual drawing, but that's just to, we'll see. Yeah, I don't know. I know watching that Marvel Rivals thing, my one buddy in particular was like, ugh, none of this excites me. And I had a feeling once I watched it, I would be stoked myself. And I really am. Like, again, it could very largely be because, like, X-Men is my thing. Like, like, if you were to ask me comic book wise, like, what is your favorite? Or even, like, as a kid, if it wasn't Ninja Turtles or Power Rangers or anything, like, if you ask me superhero stuff, X-Men every day, always. Like, I just loved them so much. I love them so much. And so getting a whole season in Krakoa and having like, yeah, all of those characters is, I'm excited just visually. And then getting Emma, I'm really hoping Emma's going to be a tank. I play tank anyway, and then that'll mean more people will play tank. Because they've always joked that like all the tanks in the game are big beefy men, right? And the internet's full of hornballs. So like once they introduce like a sexy lady, game over. All of a sudden people will play tank. At least for a little bit until they realize they suck, because tank requires the most game sense overall and full knowledge of the like what's happening. I feel like tank requires the most game sense of any role, just because you are the one pushing, you are the one pulling, you are the one gauging who is alive and who's not. You are the one who may need to peel to help your backline. You got too many, like you are kind of like the director of the flow of everything. And I feel like that's one thing that like a lot of people, when like the thing came out or different, like when people start and they pick up a tank, like, yeah. And then it's like, oh, a bad tank can kind of really change the flow of a fight entirely, which when I play with my buddies online, then we'll do just casual. But like I always play tank, and so I don't like playing tank then when we play together, because it's my way of learning a new character. And so I feel bad though, because then when we play, more often than not, we end up losing a lot. And part of it is I feel like because the tanks we get in quick play are just, they don't grasp the role. They may know the character, but they don't know the role, if that makes sense. And so the ebb and flow of every fight is difficult without a tank being, you know, a general in the front kind of guiding the flow of combat and when and how everything pushes. Anyway, Emma Frost, she's sexy. She got big thighs. She's a blonde lady. People are going to play her, especially even if she's a tank. That's just the way of the internet. This is the way. There's a lot. So my brain thinking of Emma Frost too, like there's a lot of good Emma Frost skins that we can get, which is exciting too, because she's a great character. She, for again, those that don't know X-Men stuff that well, like 1000%, she is the better Jean. Like in terms of like with Scott, like people outside of the comic book world don't realize like, oh yeah, Emma Frost is actually like the better version of who Scott should be with. Like, yes, iconically you picture, you know, Scott with Jean, but in the comics, the better person for Scott 1000% in every story, almost in my mind, that they include her, it's Emma 100%. 100%. I have this one's like a crazy weird perspective on this this pose. That said of learning new characters, Psylocke has become my new character to learn. So basically the way I've been playing rifles now is I played ranked a lot, but ranked has been driving me bonkers because of their matchmaking system. And so I just play quick play most of the time and just have fun, right? Like I played this morning. I played 2 games this morning for like 6-7 minutes, if that, in quick play. I played 2 games. The one, I think I went like 25-2 and we won. And it wasn't against bots. The other team was talking to us and stuff. And I was just playing Psylocke, right? And I like to play to learn a new character now. And so what I'll do is I'll play generally until I get their kill. I can't remember what ranking that is for a character, but like until you get their little like first kill icon thingy, like so when you get a double kill, triple kill, or whatever, like shows with a different unique animation for that character. And then I'm like, okay, new character. I've learned them enough. Like, and so I was doing that with Scarlet Witch, but I had been wanting to learn either Psylocke or Magic for a more divey backline character. And man, is she hard. She's a 5. She's the hardest rating. Not that the ratings of difficulty necessarily are, you know, they don't mean everything. But holy F, I see why she is. Like, she requires so much patience and unbelievable accuracy, because the whole thing for her is to be like a mosquito, right? She gets in and immediately gets out, right? She shouldn't be taking damage. She should be in. She should be out. She should get a kill. She should disrupt. She should throw off the team. She should, like I said, disrupt the back line, so then they are now the front line focuses and pulls attention. Like, but your moves basically allow you, if you do it perfectly, to immediately kill like a support character or a duelist, right? But you have to hit your shots perfectly, and you are dashing around like a crazy person, and the other people are obviously moving themselves. And so I see why she is such a hard one, because Magic at least is melee, right? So she's got it's like a similar mindset of how you play, but her physical attributes, the melee characters have a lot more forgiveness, because their hitboxes are real big with their moves. Whereas Psylocke is basically a projectile character. She may not seem like it, but she's a projectile character. But yeah, I didn't realize how much accuracy was required of you if you play Psylocke. Like, it is, because if you miss one shot while diving, dashing, flipping around, you didn't kill them, and then you didn't, like, what was the point of going in? And if you didn't kill them, they may then be able to kill you, because you are pretty vulnerable if you used your moves, like, oh, I used everything to do the snap, 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 kill them, and then get out. But if they didn't die, then what was the, you know, like, I don't know. It's way more demanding from a accuracy perspective than I had expected. Which is fun, because I've been playing characters who don't, like, going from, like, my melee characters that I play, like Thor and stuff, and Thing. Yes, you need accuracy for certain pieces of it, but it's more game sense and knowing when and how to do things. Whereas Psylocke then is the evolution of that, where it's like, you need to know when and how to get in and get out, but also, like, man, you need pinpoint accuracy, otherwise you're effed. Which, I mean, I feel like I used to have much better accuracy when I played shooting games like that all the time, but not like with Fortnite and stuff. That type of like twitchy accuracy is not quite as needed, because you are, the way the engagements go, they're just different. That said, I already have been thoroughly enjoying playing as Psylocke, and I was really hoping the new season would see a new Psylocke skin. And so the fact that we get the OG, like an original X-Men vibed outfit themed for Rivals more is like, well, that is literally exactly what I wanted. So, tanks, netties. Yeah, this is such a weird, like, again, I don't have the screen on to see, but like, yeah, this perspective was a weird one. For sure. Okay, I'm done with this. So I've been doing a lot more of the video editing, which has been the plan. That's why I changed the schedule so I can do a lot more of the editing. But that means I'm not drawing every day. And I keep telling myself I need to fit in the schedule then to draw. But spoiler alert, I haven't been. And so it comes to Thursdays now and it's like, well, I haven't drawn all week. Let me quote unquote warm up, and it's not as good. When I was drawing every day, it definitely was helping my overall like confidence and just ability, right? Like the more you do something, the better you are. That's just generally how life works. But so I definitely need to squeeze this back into my rotation again, not just Thursdays for 4 hours or, you know, like whatever I end up doing. Like I need to get it in. But again, learning a new thing in video editing has been a task in its own right. And so it's weird because I thought I knew, right? From a technical perspective, I'm like, yeah. I got my master's in animation. I know how to do short films, from audio, from visual, from narrative. And then working for a casino company, I'm like, yeah. I know how to do motion graphics. I know how to do these things. And I have, you know, an artistic eye for this and that. But when it comes to doing the stuff, it's like you have pieces of, you've done a puzzle before, right? Like, hey, I've done this puzzle. Wrong. You've used similar pieces, but you've never done this puzzle before. Like, and that's kind of how I've been feeling, where in my head, they're similar skill sets. And they are. But you need to look at each one in now a different way than I am accustomed to. And just in general, making a video that is interesting is a whole other thing. Like, that's part of the problem I've run into now is, okay, but it's not interesting, right? Like, because it's YouTube. You need to be able to grab attention. You need to be able to do a lot of things in a short period of time. And so this first video I'm doing kind of sucks, right? I'm not super happy with it, and that's okay, because I'm realizing as I'm doing it what I want to do better, right? Like, how can I make this better? How can I make it more engaging? How can I make it more interesting? How can I make it more funny or more quick or snappy or all these things, right? So while I'm learning that, I'm not going to stop and change, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm going to have to change this, because that's what I was doing at first. Was every time I had a new idea, I would redo, right? But the whole thing is I need to just get stuff out and then change as time and learn from that. You know what I mean? Like, I will learn, like, okay, I got this out, but I know I did it this way, and I would like in the future now to maybe do it similar to this or that. And so it is weird finding ways to do something better, but then saying, well, it's not for this one, like, just because you need to get it done. The entire arm is obscured in the reference. It's like a big wall right here. Not that like that matters. I was just saying, like, as I'm doing this, I'm kind of like just having to, I can't look up and look at it because I just need to make up where the arm is. Okay. What time is it? It's already almost noon. I was yapping a lot. You already know the yapping I do. I enjoy these chill vibes, just bits and hits. A lot of the this music, a lot of like lo-fi music is like based off of Nintendo licenses. I've found like a lot of lo-fi is Nintendo stuff, which is fair. Nintendo's got some memorable music, right? Like Nintendo knows what they're doing. But speaking of Nintendo, then we had all of the Switch 2 news come out this week. It came out the other day, and then now it's been just proliferating throughout the news in the gaming world with new little bits here and there. And hot damn, it was an interesting set of news. It was like the whole entire day of news was like good news and then bad. Then like not bad news necessarily, but like, yo, get excited and then get your expectations tempered. Yo, get excited and then get your expectations tempered again. Like that was my entire day yesterday when in regards to like the gaming news. Like everything. I can't remember all of the things, but like the main takeaways were like, oh, the Switch 2 looks dope, right? Cool, new Switch, about damn time. And then, oh yeah, but it's almost $500. I'm like, oh, fart. And then it's like, yeah, but look at all these cool new specs, right? It's going to run better. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. And you're like, damn, that's awesome. And it's like, yeah, by the way, but no OLED screen anymore. And you're like, what? I thought that was the whole like upgrade path that we've been doing. That's why I went from Switch to OLED Switch. And then it's like, hey, you know how we got rid of gold coins? That sucked for digital stuff. But how about we make it so the digital games are cheaper than their physical counterparts? Which again makes sense, seeing as the unfortunate reality of, well, one, cost of manufacturing costs something, but then a lot of the Switch games are made in Mexico, and our good old pal Trump is effing everything up. And so the tariffs for games, I'm sure, are going to be, like, the actual physical manufactured titles are going to be higher. And so it's like, okay, cool. So they made, like, they got rid of the gold coin system, but they made it so digital games, just by their nature, are cheaper. I'm like, dope. Perfect. As a digital only consumer, that sounds fantastic. And then they're like, by the way, you have to have a new SD card that costs a ton more, over double per gig than the current SD cards. And I'm like, cool. So again, another snip snap of like good news, but like everything all day was like, yeah, but like every single thing. And then they're like, hey, check this out. From Software finally showing off a new spiritual successor to Bloodborne. You've been waiting for it for over 10 years, and here we go. Game on. Everyone's excited. By the way, it's Switch exclusive. And you're like, F. How is it that you're taking every bit of good news and making it poopy? Like, how is this a thing? It was a weird news day for video games. That is for sure. Also, the cost of the games alone. I've been saying they need to go up for the longest time. I've been saying it since The Witcher 3 came out. I said the cost of games needs to be higher since Witcher 3. And so it's about time that they're getting an increase. But it just sucks because it's at a time when, like, here in the United States, everything is getting an increase because of our garbage fire administration. So it's like, oh, well, that's a unfortunate timing, though, for the consumer, because everything is pricey now. That said, the Switch 2 looks cool. And the new design, the slight redesign they did for Donkey Kong, the character himself, is arguably one of the best decisions Nintendo's ever done. Like, I cannot stress how good he looks. He is so animated and so expressive and so playful. And so whatever they did, whatever black magic, Pandora's box nonsense they opened with their artists to come up with that redesign, and the okay they got to change an iconic old design, 10 out of 10. 12 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic, and I'm all for it. Donkey Kong has been needing a revamp, and wowie zowie, does that new one look so fun. It feels very heavily inspired by the Mario movie then, which makes sense, right? That they took the Mario movie, the success and the redesign the movie made, and then cranked it, to 11. Yeah, and then I still haven't watched the trailer. Did they do a Donkey Kong rap in the movie, in the game trailer? I would hope so. Yeah, I was behind. I didn't watch any of the stuff. I just got like literal recap central yesterday from all different outlets. Lame. No DK rap, no buy. I mean, more realistically, just a ton of digging. God. Realistically, no Switch 2, no buy, because I'm not about to spend $500 on the console and then another $200 on additional memory. between like that, a case, you know, console, a case, memory. We have the Switch 7, 2 different TVs. So like a second dock, and then a couple games. You're looking at over $1,000. Like literally in one go, in one fell swoop, $1,000 for a Nintendo console. I was talking to my girlfriend about this yesterday. I would like to see the numbers based on inflation, right? The cost of the dollar. Because I believe $500 is more expensive than any of the consoles from Nintendo. Since possibly the N64, if not the Super Nintendo. Because between the GameCube was one of the most affordable gaming consoles, period. The Wii was not very pricey. The Wii U was an increase compared to the Wii, but I don't think it was close to today's $500. Again, I know it's $450 plus, the game bundle. But I am very curious to see the costs, right, comparatively with, like how much in today's money would it be to buy, have bought an N64. Or again, I'm thinking more Wii, GameCube, and Wii U. Because it's a lot of money. $500, you can get the Series S Xbox for less than that. Like notably less than that. So I think looking at their design, they clearly felt pressure from the Steam Deck because it looks like they're trying to be bigger and be a little bit more Steam Deck like. But I don't know, man. The price is just a lot. And again, it's not just the price of the thing, it's the price of all the things then combined is what makes it difficult. Especially when Mondo's putting out cool toys, Who needs a Nintendo Switch 2 when you can get Mondo Ray Fillet, right? Come on. Fools. But yeah, I'm sure as everything with Nintendo, it's not like it won't go down in price eventually, and become more affordable and like all memory, right? All storage things and history with computing, obviously those will go down in price too. It's just the sticker shock of the initial onset of all of this that it's like, oh, damn. Like, that's just a lot to swallow at once, is all. Like, especially because you have the comparative of the original Switch, and it's like, okay, well, this cost X amount, and the memory to buy this cost half the price. And, it's just everything costs more for sure. But then, I'm curious to see because I know the reports are saying the battery life is going to be way less than the Switch right now's current battery life or things like that. And it's like, damn, I'm very curious to see the overall impression once people get their hands on it for sure. Because right now it's like, I don't know, especially the idea of like how they're charging more for old games Like, hey, look, it's a revamped version of the old game. Cool, but how much better is it? Like, is it really worth it? Or are you guys just nickel and diming now? Like, because that got a lot of feedback, a lot of flack when Sony did that. When they're like, yeah, you can buy the upgraded PS5 version for this much now. And like, that saw a lot of flack. So I'm kind of surprised that Nintendo's following suit. Because it didn't seem the most PR friendly of moves, let's just say. But if anybody can pull stuff off of like getting people to spend money, it's Nintendo. Like, Nintendo people are like, it's Nintendo. People are gonna buy it. Is it $80 for a new Mario game? Sure, but does that mean people are not gonna buy it because it's $80? No, people are still gonna buy it. So long as obviously they keep up the quality, which I mean Nintendo doesn't usually falter with that too much. Like, yes, obviously every company has duds. I'm looking at the new Metroid for sure right now as a very likely dud, but your track record still overall is still far better than a lot of companies. So it just comes with an expectation of quality with Nintendo. That said, I don't know the last time. The last time I turned on my Switch was for Hello Kitty Island Adventure. And that was, unfortunately, I think one time total. And before that was even longer since I touched it. And the irony being, the DLC for the new Ninja Turtles, the Splintered Fate, the one that I just mentioned not too long ago, that DLC came out, and I still haven't even touched that. I just haven't cared to play on the Switch. When I'm downstairs, I've been mainly trying to draw then, right? I've been trying to get in the habit of, if I'm downstairs, that's either reading or drawing. And so it's like, well, I don't know how to read, so I guess I'm gonna draw. No, but so yeah, it's not like it's as incentivized anyway then. If I'm barely even using my Switch nowadays at the moment, just given the current context of my life, there's always ebbs and flows. Though I was excited at the thought because my girlfriend and I used to play games a good amount more, but her and I haven't. She's not a gamer by any means, but she will play and she has fun and she definitely enjoys the time together. And so I was excited at the idea of a new Switch to have like more opportunities like that to play together. But that can wait. There's still plenty of stuff we can do on the normal Switch without breaking the bank. Don't have to break the bank at all. We already have it. Switch is already there. Yeah, especially with the being able to play games using just one game or cartridge. Again, I'm very intrigued to see how that idea actually plays out in practice then. Like, it's one thing to see it on paper and them talk about it, but sometimes like in practice it's a little different. Like, how often, like, do you still have to be connected to the internet the whole time? Do you have to like register it in a different way? Like, I'd be very curious to see the specifics of how that's handled. But it is interesting that they clearly are very heavily leaning towards the idea of a more digital console. It's just such a bummer then that their cost of memory is so high right now. It's just, like I said, a very hard pill to swallow. And I'm curious too, like, I'm assuming it's only going to be for Switch 2 games, that borrow feature. But like, can you play them on their, it's backwards compatible with old stuff, but obviously you can't play it on a new one. Or I'm sorry, you can't play the new games on the old console, but can I buy an old game like a game that's Switch, not Switch 2, that comes out after the Switch 2? Will it have that functionality though? Like, I don't know, there's a lot of like random questions. Probably not. I'm sure it's just strictly Switch 2 exclusive titles that will gain this functionality, among other things. But again, without full information, you're left to just wonder, which you don't have to wonder long. What is it? I already forgot when it comes out. Soon. Soon, though. I think it was June, right? Ay, ay, ay. June 9th, 5th. Yeah, it was sometime early June. I don't remember exactly either, but yeah, definitely June. Which, Heroes Con, that's the end of June, right? When you're dropping all your money. Yeah. So, being able to go to Heroes Con and spend money on art after spending 700 on a Switch, probably not the most. 20th to 22nd. Nice. Yeah, we've got a wedding at the or Memorial Day, is that what it is? In May, the end of May. And talk about things that are pricey, a wedding to go to. This is, it's a lot. Like, and we had to get new outfits. It's one of my best friends since I was little. He's getting married. He's Indian, and so I've got like, we had to get all the new Indian outfits, for the ceremonies and stuff like that. Like, it's just a lot. Plus then the hotel on Memorial Day weekend and airfare and food, and we're not renting a car, and everything's like a half hour in 3 different directions. It's like a giant triangle because there's something each day with Indian weddings where it's like it's a 3-day event in all different places. Oh, the wedding is the day after. When do you go to Epic Universe? When is that one? Like, what's the actual date? Is it Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Like, what day is it? Oh, lame. Sunday's the day that I had free. I had told you Sunday was the day that I had free that I could see you. Oh well. What a goober. You're gonna be too cool. Too cool for me. Gotcha. What all is going to be at the, I don't even, like, I know you guys, like, there's a lot going on with the Epic Universe. So, like, what all does, I don't even remember what all it entails, like, for when it opens, what's going to be there kind of thing. Like, oh crap. They'll have the 5 new parks: Mario, Harry Potter, How to Train Your Dragon, Universal Monsters, and then the Celestial Park should be all open and ready to go. Only certain rides still aren't up, mainly the Harry Potter one. Huh. That's a lot. I didn't realize it was that much, I guess. Like, I know Universal's been doing a lot of stuff. I didn't realize it was that much stuff, I guess. I don't know. I like when I'm not connected to it and I don't have like a means to go as easily, like myself, I'm like, it's easier to like forget all that they're doing. That's a lot of crap. Yeah, a whole brand new park for sure. Yeah, that's wild. I keep forgetting. Yeah, it's that extensive. Which, I mean, Disney's been dropping the ball with a lot of things, I feel like, lately, but I'm glad they've got competition, much better competition than they used to have, I feel like. I feel like Universal is stepping up their game drastically, compared to what they used to be. Now, if only Disney would step up their game, though, not only at the parks, but in their movie making department. What it does to Disney, they'll make their salaries lower for their employees and take another 8 years to do Cars in Disney World. That's the reality of what'll happen. Unfortunately, that's probably what will transpire. Took Disney almost the same amount of time to put in Tron, a replica ride, as it did Universal did the whole, as it took Universal to build a whole park. Yeah, Tron, I don't understand how Tron took so long, given the context of it was already done. Like, yeah, I don't know, man. Whatever Disney's been doing has just been baffling. I always talk about being a fly on the wall, would love to understand why it is such a difference right now with how things are getting done at Disney at like a literal snail's pace. Yeah, it's wild. I know when my girlfriend went to go, she gets her hairdresser or whatever, I think he's got 2 kids. I don't remember. But he was talking to her about like, because like most families, they don't get to go all that often. Like going once to Disney every so many years is the thing to be able to do, especially because now it's so expensive. And then on top of that, he was like asking her, trying to wrap around like all the stupid Disney, or not Disney, the Genie Plus things and all these things. He's like, I don't know. I just threw money at it and I said, sure, let's just get everything. And I'm sure that's what a lot of people do. And it's like, well, I'm finally able to go. I guess I'll just throw more money at it to be able to do all the things, because we can only go once because it's so unbelievably expensive overall. And it just, yeah. I think it's Disney Plus and how much money they've lost, coupled with the park shutting down during COVID. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's a ton of factors that have gone into play. Yeah, but like Universal also experienced COVID. Like, but yeah, I know Disney Plus has become quite an interesting endeavor for them in many ways from a business perspective. That said, speaking of Disney Plus, watch that new Daredevil on Tuesday night. Ooh, obviously not going to spoil things just on the internet in case, we've got people, usually have a couple people lurking here, not necessarily always chatting, but I would hate to spoil something, but damn. That show, am I right? Am I right? My gosh. So whether they're losing money or not, I'm glad we get shows like that. If that counts for anything. However bungled Disney Plus may be, I like the things we get. I still am like in love with Skeleton Crew. Like when I look back at like Disney stuff now that we've gotten from a television perspective, man, that show had its faults 100%. But was it adorable and had such a fun energy? 1000%. 1000%. I know, and then right after now with Daredevil, we're gonna have Andor. So I feel like they got the snip snap gonna hit us quick. But it's weird with Disney because then I feel like all of a sudden with Disney Plus, then all of a sudden it'll be like, and nothing again. Like I feel like they do it like they jam pack usually a chunk of time, and then it's like, okay, have fun, go back to Netflix for a couple months, like, or Hulu or HBO or whatever. We watch a lot of different ones. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm very looking forward to Andor. Andor, I didn't not expect it to be good that first season, but man, was it good, right? And so now it's kind of a double-edged sword because now like expectations are pretty high, right? Because that first season hit on such a good, like so many levels, it was so good. And so it's like I'm excited, but also like the way media goes, sequels, obviously season 2 is not a sequel, but the same idea. Like it's the same logic of like, ooh, I hope it hits just as well. I don't know why I've been like noodling over this figure drawing as long as I have been. I just wasn't in the mood to switch to draw something else, so I just said we're committing to drawing her this whole period right now. Deal with it. The face is really little. What did I do? What did I do? Itty bitty little Goomba head. Oh crap, thinking of scheduling and like new things coming and all that, my brain just remembered I need to. Since I stream on Thursdays, I've had the same, like here in Illinois, when I've lived in Illinois, I've had the same person cut my hair. She's just like, she works at the salon. We've like my whole family goes there. She's great. She's just a friend of ours now, right? But she's gotten to the point where her client base is so big that she just squeezes everybody in on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that's all she works. She has kids and a husband and stuff like that, but like she literally has a massively full day of Tuesdays and Thursdays, like literally like first thing in the morning and leaves late at night, and that's it. But so since I stream on Thursdays, now I'm not as keen to do Thursday haircuts just because I like to do them more in like around lunch, so I can like either go visit family who live down there in the like beforehand or after. But I can't do that as easily on Thursday, so I'd have to do it like at night, and then I'd leave right after I stream and hang out with family and do whatever. But like, so now it's just basically Tuesdays because she only does the 2 days. And this end of the month and then the beginning of the next month is like birthday after birthday after birthday. And then at the end of May, we're going to the wedding. So it's one of those things where it's like, well, shoot, if I only have 2 days or 1 day a week, I can get a haircut. And then all of a sudden we've got all these different things and I have to be in different cities for and stuff that like I half-assed. So I was like, yeah, sure, let's do it this day next time. But then as soon as I got home and like looked at the calendar, I was like, actually, that's a terrible plan. Let's do it this other way. So I need to I keep forgetting. I told myself today I need to call them and reschedule everything. Interesting, right? Riveting things. Boring, changing appointments. Okay. I got no more. I can't tell you more. That's it. Gotta change the appointment. Oh, man. Okay. Well, we're done drawing her. Let's do one more, maybe, and then look at something else to draw. I think this is more than enough figure drawing. This is a good one, though. Ooh, I think I might use, literally, as soon as this pose came up, I was like, uh-oh, I think I'm going to have to use this pose for, like, a drawing later. Again, I can show these probably on stream, some of these, but I still haven't gone through and I haven't altered the folder structure because like I don't know which ones have. My nude folder has nude colored underwear as well, and so I don't want. I need to differentiate the two for when I stream so I can actually have the screen visible, but I've been saying that all the time and I still haven't, so you know. But either way, this girl's got her booty out and she's beefy as hell. And so my brain immediately went to like, oh, this looks like a fun pose to use for a good social media drawing kind of thing, right? I don't know which character it would be. She's got guns in this pose that she's rocking, but obviously can always tweak designs. Can make her holding swords with this pose probably pretty easily. again, I've got like so many different packs from, you know, over the years of figure drawing, reference pictures and stuff like that. But like this lady is jacked. I always love getting to draw ones with her because she like, I don't know, even like the when I do figure drawing, even when the girls are not super muscular, sometimes I usually end up adding muscle to them, which is obviously not the point of what I'm doing, but I always do anyway. And so having a muscular reference to draw then. Skip the middleman. So I'm finally almost done. So I've talked about it on stream before, but I've become an audiobook person by accident. And I'm actually almost done now with the first book, the Dungeon Crawler Carl, the one that kind of broke the seal for me with audiobooks of me actually finding how I like to engage with them and when I can listen and enjoy them. So it's coming to a conclusion, but luckily there's 10 books in the series, so I've got quite a bit more to gather along. I think there's only 7 so far. It's nice because the way Audible works is you get a year, right? And you get 12 credits for like your subscription. But credits are basically universal purchases of any book. Doesn't matter the price, right? But the problem with that is, though, you can buy books too on Audible. And all books are not created equal in terms of cost. So it's like we've got our account set up and you have to kind of balance. Like I told my girlfriend we need to like look when they run sales on books because like there's 7 books right now in the series. So obviously there's 7 books or 6 other books to keep an eye out for, because if a book goes on sale, let's say, right, from $35 for the audiobook to $7, like the second book actually was just on sale for $7. Well, obviously, we don't want to use one of our credits on a book that only would cost us $7. We'll buy the $7 book and keep one of our 12 credits for the year for when we want a book that is pricier and not on sale. So it's weird that like you have a membership to a thing, but you have to also still be like monitoring the cost of stuff because you want to maximize the value you get from it. Which I don't mind, but it is weird, the idea. Usually when you have like, oh, I have a subscription, that is like, oh, you don't need to focus on any of that stuff then. But it's actually arguably even more that you have to, because using a credit on a book that's on sale for $5 and then later being like, damn, I want this other book, but that's $30 and I'm out of credits. It's like, well, that was dumb. You should have used the credit on the $30 one then, idiot. Like, so it's definitely something we like add stuff to the favorites then so you can keep an eye on, like, hey, when is this on sale? We'll pick it up when it's on sale. Otherwise, we'll know like this hasn't gone on sale. We can use one of our credits on that. So it's funny that I said I make the women more muscular. This lady is already super jacked. And then like I've just been like I'm like doing like a caricaturized version of how jacked she is just because I feel like it since I was talking about it. So like this woman is not this big in the reference for the record. But she is today in the drawing. We went this weekend, we went out to eat. And you know, when you try and find somewhere different to eat, you just do the Google Maps quick search, try and figure something out, right? You're like looking through everywhere. And we did that, and we stumbled on a restaurant like right by our house that I had seen and I had noted, but we just never, you know, sometimes you don't look into it. You're like, oh, look, there's that place. And then you forget about it until you actively need to, kind of thing. But so we had looked it up and we're like, oh, that place actually looks pretty good. And it was right near where we were gonna be anyway for that day. So like, okay, we'll try that one probably. So we get there. When we were out and about, we went shopping and errands and all that kind of stuff. And it was like a Lithuanian, I'm Lithuanian, so that hit nicely. A Lithuanian owned like steakhouse. And as someone who doesn't eat steak, I was like, you know, obviously not intrigued to get steak, but the salad and the chicken and all of that looked really good. And holy living fart, they gave you so much food. Like we had ordered, we were just gonna get 2 salads like we usually do, but they had like a really nice sounding chicken and like artichoke dish with like some rice pilaf and stuff. And so I was like, oh well, we can get, you know, we'll sometimes do that where we'll get like a salad for, you know, we'll get 2 meals, 1 salad meal and 1 like heavier meal, so that we can kind of have a little bit of both, right? Best of both worlds. Well, it was so much food that we took it back. We ate, we took it back. Girlfriend brought it for lunch the next day to work. I had it as a snack 3 different occasions. And then she used the chicken the next day again on Tuesday for our big salads we have with normally chicken, but we opted to not have to cook more chicken because we had just enough for 1 person, so she was able to eat the salad with the chicken from the restaurant. Literally, the chicken and artichoke dish, 3 chicken breasts. 3! It was so much meat. We were floored when the waitress brought it over. We're like, holy F. Like, it came with soup, a salad, and then 3 chicken breasts and like an entire thing of rice pilaf and all the artichokes and all that stuff. Like, the amount of food was insane. And they already gave bread. Like, it was a nice bread at the restaurant that they had. And we ordered an appetizer of sweet potato fries because that's if there's one fried thing I'll eat, it's sweet potatoes in tater tot form or French fry form. That's a lot of meat, right? It is a lot of meat. That's what we said right when they, yo, you gave me all the meats. Yeah, it was just so much food. We were shocked. And like, I mean, my salad was like, I think like $18 and her plate was like 24 or something. So it was like, I think it was 49 before tip or anything. So like, it's not like it was like cheap food, but also the fact that we got so many meals out of it then is kind of absurd. Was it like the greatest food I've ever eaten? Absolutely not. Was it good though? You betcha. Like, it was one of those ones where it's like, oh, we'll definitely go back here again. It is solid and a good value, right? It's not like, holy crap, I'm gonna remember this meal, but it's a yeah, it's a good meal, you know, which is sometimes that's all you need. You don't we don't need to have like astronomically amazing things. They just need to be good and relatively consistent and value, like good value from it. Bam. We got a lot of food. And we went shopping, which was nice. We needed new towels. So we went to Kohl's and got like a bunch of new towels and then ran to Home Goods because it's like that time of the year where Home Goods probably has like cute like spring and Easter stuff. And we found quite a bit of cute spring and Easter stuff. But no, Kohl's had their it was it 50% off or 75% off additionally on all clearance. So like if it was $60 clearanced to 20, then it was $5. Like, and so we were like, well, damn, we should definitely hit that up and see what they've got. And they had some good stuff. I was tempted by a lot, but it's like, because when you're looking at that cheap of stuff, like there was a leather jacket that looked real good. I liked it. But it came out, it was only going to be like $50 for like a nice, I think it was normally like $400 leather jacket. And I was like, damn, that's tempting. But I didn't get it. But I did get a lot of sweaters because I'm not a sweater person. She always says I should wear sweaters, but I don't know. I get hot wearing sweaters a lot, and I'm never really a fan of that. They just feel too thick. But for like $5 a pop, I was like, okay, $5 for this sweater, I think I can commit to that. Like, and they were decent sweaters. Luckily, getting stuff clearanced for me, I'm a weird, like, she wears extra smalls, right? And like 90% of the stuff she gets. I, however, depending on what it is and what type of thing I'm wearing and where I'm, you know, am I wearing it around the house? Is this something I go out in? Is this something I'm working out in? I might get something that's a medium. I might get something that's a small. Or I might get something that's a large. I am like all over the place with sizing. So usually with clearance stuff, you can kind of find something worthwhile, even if it's not a lot. I don't know why I zoomed in on this face because I just drew the ugliest thing I've ever seen. What the hell? Why did I zoom in so much and zone out? Yikes. I don't know what's happening here. But yeah. Got a lot of good stuff for real cheap. And the lady at the checkout was like that sweet old lady who was like, we had like a full conversation with her for like 5 minutes as she was checking out all of our stuff and everything. She's a nice lady. Yeah, that face still looks like doo-doo. I don't know why I zoomed in. Whenever I zoom in on a thing like that and start drawing, it looks like butt because I zone out too much. And that is what happened. Oh well. I always mention the weather because the friggin' weather's been so wonky. Like yesterday, it's been like 40 degrees here every day. And then yesterday is like, yo, what up? It's going to be high of 70 and storming. And it's like, fudge. Going from a 30-degree shift. If you don't live in the Midwest, what that means is tornadoes. Like that's a massive change in atmospheric pressure usually, which causes some really rough stuff. And so yesterday was like just one of those like weird gloomy, and then it got like super hot, but it was storming. So it was like a gross, weird heat. But the fact that like if you don't live in the Midwest and know the difference when it goes from like hot to cold on a whim like that, like cold, like 30s to 40s to then 60s and 70s within like an hour or two change. There's something that the way your body feels with that when you're outside is just weird. I don't know how to describe it. It's just such like an awkward feeling. And yeah, I'm not a huge fan. So I'm ready for that kind of crap to be over. And I don't even know. I think today went back to being like normal, just gross 40s and cold. But yeah, I don't know, man. I'm ready for the weather to make up its mind over here. If it's going to be cold or wet or hot as hell. Like, it's weird too, because like when you're dealing with that kind of stuff with temperature, like, and as someone who goes for a walk every day, what the hell do you wear? Like, you know, 1 minute it's 70 degrees and storming, the next minute it's like 40 degrees and like hailing, and then the next day it's 30 and a light snow, and then it's 50 and sunny, and you're like, I don't know what temperature means anymore. Like, because does the sun counteract the 50 and all of a sudden it's hot? Does the rain F with the 70 and make it gross and I need a jacket? Like, it's dumb. It's real dumb. Weather's stupid. I don't know why I keep drawing her face then, because it looks like ass, and I should just erase it and say, don't look at this. Normally I don't do the faces, but for some reason I got distracted. Anyway, let's shrink her down and say goodbye. Bye-bye, lady. But okay, those are decent figure drawing though for today. In case I might even not want to thumbnailing it. I might just leave it at that at one point for a thumbnail. Though I am going to change this because her crotch is really long. It looks different than what I was expecting it to. Depending if I draw anything worthwhile later or not, this might be the thumbnail then. I would need to like cover this face though. We'll just do, hold on. The face looks so bad. I'm just erasing this face. I hate the face. Done. Get rid of that face. But yeah, what I wanted, so what time is it? It's almost 1. Is that time for? I'm hungry. I'm going to eat a little bit of the bar thing and debate what I want to do. So, like I said, I should be finishing some sort of normal piece of art that I have already done. Like, started. But I don't want to. It's very simple. I just don't want to. So, Phil Tomato, he's a streamer, artist, does cool stuff, right? He's got a Discord, a creative Discord, right? Lots of different artists, a lot of beginner artists, some professional. And it's a lot of fun. I like their Discord. They have a 2D art zone where people just like post, you know, things that they're drawing lately. I don't know why this person's caught my eye. I'm in, what is it? Streamer mode or whatever, so I can't see their name. But here, let me pop it up. It was this. I don't know why. Not in a bad way saying I don't know why, but like, you know, sometimes you look at something, you're like, I want to draw this. something about this made me smile and made me be like, I kind of want to draw something like this. I don't really need to, but I kind of wanted to do this. Like, you know how there's the draw this in your style that I've done a lot of and stuff. I kind of wanted to draw, not even a finished piece, just goof around and draw something like this. So let me switch screens real quick. Turn off streamer mode. I was trying to see if this artist, the person who drew it, had any social media. But I do not see it. They go by Sir Oshawott. And when you search that, it's a poop ton of Pokemon. Like, that is literally it. And something from Final Fantasy came up. Final Fantasy 14. There's a character named Sir Oshawott. An Imperial Nuisance. I don't know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, Sir Oshawott just comes up. Your Pokemon. In this profile, but that didn't lead to anywhere. I clicked on it. Well, anyway, it's this picture. This cute, weird, almost like a beholder, some sort of wizard, alchemist. I like it. There's something weirdly like relaxing about taking an idea somebody else already. And that sounds so unbelievably lazy. But like I've always enjoyed the draw this in your style because you're able to be creative in a way that like you just run with an idea, right? I don't want to have to like build it from scratch. I want to run with it. And so being able to just run with an idea like that is fun. Boop, 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 boop. What? Sorry, I got a Twitch notification. I was gifted a tier 1 sub to Mr. Dylan Evans. I don't know who that is. Oh, that was a streamer that I watched for, I think, for Fortnite, for the Twitch, like, rewards. Cool. Thank you, whoever gifted me a tier 1 sub. I'm not probably going to watch them again. But thank you. It's not about for me, the viewer. It's about for the streamer, obviously. Okay, so let's crack open a file and just sketch this little guy. Like, think of a layout for like a standard 11 by 17-ish. Though I need to, not that I need to conform to Instagram standards, but like everything looks so dumb on Instagram now because the way they've changed their formatting. So I'm always unbelievably messy. I don't draw, like, usually I start with a pose or I start with something, right? When I'm doing a lot of my stuff on stream. When I draw, like, my own random things, man, you guys think I'm messy. That normally, game over, man. I just get, like, there's wiggly lines out the butt when I'm drawing then. With my, like, when I'm trying to, like, just rough in ideas, like, hope you don't want to know what's going on, because you won't for the first, like, 10 minutes as I just draw some squiggles. The squiggles make sense to me, though, if that means anything. So I want to keep, like, the same, almost like the exact same pose. This energy, right? This, like, quizzical and yet very, like, he's clearly in the middle of a process, too. Like, there's some of this dripping. He's pouring it in. I have a couple of these, like, little eyeballs coming out. I really liked the idea, though, that, like, there was another, like, he's doing it and then also reading about it with another eye. Like, I don't know why that, I think that's what, the silliness of that is what got me intrigued the most. So changing, like, the perspective, making it a little bit more interesting for me. Making it just a big old pot then. It's just bubbling over. Seems like a waste of space, like a little bit too much. That's okay. Again, that's why I kind of like just doing this kind of stuff. It's weirdly freeing. Like, in my mind, I'm not posting this. I'm just drawing, right? Just having fun, thinking of something silly. Or being lazy and not even thinking of something silly, but, like, interpreting something silly, I guess, would be the correct use case. Man, he's reading the book, but doesn't he know he can just use an audiobook? That's what all the cool kids do now. Let's get an Audible subscription. Silly wizard, alchemist, beholder. Don't you know? The one was more of like a jar. Right? What a dingus. He should be listening to an audiobook. Could free up one of his other eyes for more fun activities. I don't even want to read that out loud. Such a. I'd say it's in the eye of the beholder, though. how they consume books. For those that don't know fantasy things, a beholder is basically what this is, a creature with a lot of eyes, as I noted earlier, but in case you didn't catch it. So that joke was good and terrible. Thanks, I hate it. I already had all my chocolate. I don't need more sweet right now. That's too big of a curve here. So I'm trying to take like what they did, the idea, and just make it like have a lot of like interesting overlaps is kind of where I think sells a lot of ideas, like making it feel more natural, right? Like the form usually overlaps. There's a lot of stuff going on. And so I feel like a lot of like, I don't want to say beginner art, but like, I mean, when I used to do, my brain always, when I was starting out, would always do that. At least I don't know if other people do, but like, you want things to read more clearly so you don't look at poses as dynamically. So it's like a lot easier to just do like, yeah, this is good. Whereas like, I feel like strong overlapping features sometimes can really sell an interesting pose. Because it's in that overlap that can cause intrigue. So this in this sketchy nonsense was the book, if it was not clear. So this is where the book would be resting and be open. I feel like it would be like curved backwards, right? Like the little tentacle holding it would have like a little bit of a weird hold. I actually don't know the logic of how a tentacle would rest a book on it, to be fair. Like, I don't really get it. I'm assuming there's like some suction or adhesion to the tentacle, right? That allows it to hold it, right? That makes sense. I'll allow it. We'll fix the book up later. What if there's like a hat? Or a hat. What if there's like a hole in the hat that like one of the eyeballs comes out of normally? Like that's, you know, like he's got his one little spot. Like he's that one eye that's like, yeah, I like to come out of the hole. Again, just more for visual intrigue. That's ugly. So I don't like the hat. Let's try again. But I do like the idea of having like the hole for one of the eyeballs to kind of come out of. I think that's funny. So let's just make it like if it's just a rounded hat, right? And we can kind of, let's pull up the brims on the side, kind of. Since everything's round, I kind of want the hat to have a little bit of sharpness, just a little. And then the hat is very like static to an extent. So having like the hole in it for the other eye to come out, I feel like it's like a little gag that makes the hat have more intrigue rather than just being this massive piece of cloth that exists above the head, you know, like it gives it a little more zhuzh. Oh gosh, oh gosh. As we've always said, I keep saying the touch on this iPad when it goes haywire, it goes haywire. All right. I wonder if we accentuate the curve. Something about this just feels weird. Come on. Yeah, talking about the new Switch and stuff like that, mentioned how that would be so pricey. That's, I guess, by comparison, the new Switch is pretty cheap compared to a new iPad. But something else funny. Like I want something else to do with this hat. This hat feels, I don't know, like I need something else happening back here. Not sure what. The hat still is not doing it for me though. I don't know why. Let's look up wizard hats and just see like maybe there's like a design or a pattern or something that will resonate that would. Because the hat here in the reference piece we're looking at is obviously just very simple, right? There's not much to it. So it's not too much for me to pull from. We'll look it up in a second. I'm just trying to. So this piece would probably be under. Trying to think of framing right now, like where this cauldron frames nicely. I'll look up cauldrons too, because actually my brain is not really thinking what a cauldron looks like. Other than like the super, you know, like my brain just pictures like generic as hell cauldron, which is not very fun for what I want to do right now. Excuse me. Because yeah, my brain just goes like, yep, big cauldron. Picture maybe like a handle or something here just to make it look more visually intriguing. There's more noise, but let's look up. So let's look up hats and cauldrons, okay? Oh, this is not the right. And there we go. Interesting. Okay. Cauldron. I feel like when you Google it though, it's like the most generic things. Like I wish I could like, can you ArtStation Google? Like, do you know what I mean? Can I look at, ooh, I don't know. Some of these are kind of cool. I like this. Yeah, so it's just what I was thinking, like just having a handle. I was trying to see if like there was like anybody's done like a cool like ornate or like pattern to a cauldron that gives it a little more vibe. I feel like something like this is interesting where it's like a cauldron on a platform. But I don't think there's the space for that where we're working. All of them have like that same vibe. Lame. Give it a little bit of a mass by making the rim. And just go straight into the cauldron shape instead of making like an S curve. Just make it rounded. But then what if the handle breaks the silhouette? Because the silhouette's boring, right? That's hella boring. So let's have like something break here. What if it's wood? Like what if it's like a metal? Then it could be different color, right? So what if it's like two metal posts with like a wooden rod? Like imagine like a toilet paper roll, right? Like something like that. Like it's too big. Like the cauldron's like the cast iron piece is like sticking out, but then in it is like a wooden post that kind of comes through. Again, just to make it look more interesting, right? Rather than just a giant gray blob. Like that already, as sketchy and messy as that is, that at least feels like, okay, there's more going on to the cauldron rather than just one thing. In Marvel Rivals, there's there's like a small battle pass thing you can buy, and towards the end you get like a token to get one of the skins, and it's I have been behind. I haven't really been playing Rivals because of Berserker Kazan. But today, if I play Rivals, I can get my free token, I think. So after I eat lunch and get a couple things situated after stream, I think I'll probably boot up and quickly try and get a game or two in and get my free skin. Free being relative, obviously you had to pay for the bundle that then awards you the free thing. So it's not even the free thing. Whatever. It's $3 though. Like $3 is a steal because everything else, like even just all the other stuff you get plus the token you get for a free skin is like a $15 skin. So okay, so that is nothing exciting here on the cauldron, but already that makes me care more about what this cauldron is. And then maybe we'll do like concentric rings around it of just like a slight, like it's almost like it's embossed or something. Like just that kind of, just so it feels more interesting. And then we can play with the perspective a little bit too. And then when stuff is, you know, boiling over, maybe that's what's, or do we do like another detail here? Like there's handles on it. What else would you have? You have handles and something else. Like all the things have handles and like a thing like that. Like a, you know, like the handle that goes that way. Can we think of like, I mean, it's this beholder's thing, right? So what if all along the edge here, like the rim is actually just like little eyeballs, right? Just something like generic, like graphic design shape for it. Like just like maybe make it like little diamonds with circles. So it kind of has like, it feels like it's his, right? Like, oh, that makes sense. It would be his. It's got all this eyeball-ish pattern all over it. I don't know, just spitballing. Just joking. Yeah, something like that works. Then obviously it can just have like nicks and cracks and stuff like that, but the idea is there. Cool. I somehow took more time now thinking of a cauldron than this actual creature. Behold, my waste of time. Not a waste of time. I think that looks cool. Okay. So now a hat. So we've got this weird beholder. I'm seeing a lot of things I want to change, but that's fine. Wizard hat, witch's hat, fantasy hat. Wow. What the? So obviously something like a wizard's hat. I like the idea of a chain on it. But I don't really have chains on this at all anywhere. So having chains seems, excuse me, not quite as fitting. But I mean, he doesn't really have much. He's just tentacles and eyeballs. So it's not like we can really. Man, this hat's multiple and this is gross. Like I get what they're trying to go for. I don't like it. Yikes. So I kind of like the idea of like this, something like this. What is this from? Oh, these, you can buy all of these fantasy hats. But no, like something along the lines of like the pattern on it, like having some sort of thing like this. I like that. But if it needs to be tattered too, I'm not sure. I still want the pointy hat. None of these other shapes are doing it for me. The pointier, the better. When in doubt, point it out. So what do we do? What do we do? Oh, that is an eraser. So I like the idea, maybe some sort of like shape that goes around it to help sell the perspective too, that the hat is being like, you know, that they're heavily angled down their head. I feel like sometimes if you do that though, it just looks like a pilgrim hat. You know what I mean? Like with like the buckle, which is not quite what I want to go for. What give some shape to it? Do like a pattern. Man, I've said it before. Sometimes I like the lo-fi music, but other times, like if I'm like zoning out, all of a sudden I feel like I'm about to fall asleep when I've got this lo-fi stuff on. I'm like, hold up, wake up, grab your kids and put on a little makeup. I think you almost lose the fact that it's an eyeball under here with how much detail I'm putting in now. But yeah, that he is existing as just a big ol' eyeball. I'm not sure how to remedy that. Let's make the hat a little smaller on the side. Give a little more breathing room for the eyeball popping out. Do we run that gag twice, or do we just kind of allude to it maybe? That like this one then is this eyeball's coming out, but we don't know if it's coming through like a hole in the hat necessarily. Then it just looks like antenna though. I don't want him to have antenna. I don't know. I'm just blackening the eyeballs, like the pupils right now, where iris is, just so like I have an idea of where it's looking. But so if it looks like it's got 2 eyes on each, do we have another one coming out the bottom right, possibly here? Oh, that was super loud. Why was that a Discord notification? Why is Discord giving me sounds? Quit. Goodbye, Discord. I think it was. I don't even know. Got pulled up a notification. Okay. Where would another eyeball be? Like, because it would have to come out like here. But like, do we just do it like where it's like held close to the chest then? So there's just like another one looking intently close here. That's actually not bad. Because the way the original artist did it, they had like 2 real close. So we can always do something like that. Like there's just one, like that hugs real tight to the primary eye. The outfit leaves a little to be desired, so we'll have to just kind of scratch that and redraw it again. It's always weird when like you see things a lot and your brain thinks you know it, but then when you go to draw it, you're like, I don't think I've ever actually really drawn this. Like, I don't know how many times I've drawn like a wizard hat. Like I'm like weirdly blanking. Like all this looks weird. So it is odd. Like I think that's a common trap a lot of artists fall into, is that like you think you know a thing until you start doing it. You're like, holy crap, I've seen it a billion times, but I've never actually taken the time to break down its designs in practice, you know, like of actually making these marks and understanding how it moves in space and understanding how to make it look cool, you know, like that's weird. That looks like a cowboy hat for some reason still. Oh well. Not gonna lie, some of these eyeball things look very phallic to me, like little wieners. Kind of awkward, but I like it. Behold his eyeball wiener. Have I mentioned it before too? That's probably a problem then. Got wieners on the brain. I probably did make a wiener joke earlier too, because I'm a grown adult. Hearts, wieners, you know, very sophisticated young man. And by young man, I mean old. But come on, when you're drawing a bunch of tentacles with balls and stuff on it, like, come on. We all know where your brains go. I don't like this weird center brand thing that I did. It looks very cowboyish. I need it to look more like mystical. Which I think that's the problem. This, like, any centerpiece thing to me makes it feel cowboyish. So what do these other designs do? They all kind of do that, though. They just do it better than me. I kind of like the brim being a different pattern that this one. Okay. Like the edge of it. So let's kind of outline, try and out. This is just a hodgepodge of pencil marks all over. But as best as we can try and outline it, maybe. Here we go. I think this is going to make it look more cowboy-like, but that's okay. Man, yeah, again, I don't know why I can't draw hats. One of these things my brain says, yeah, I know what hats look like. It's like, what's the old, the meme where it's like for the medieval painting where it's like, you know how to draw horses, right? Yeah, I got you. And then they show like old medieval drawings of horses and it's like, what the F is that? Or babies. I'm pretty sure it's horses, though, is the one I'm thinking of, right? Oh, okay. Oh, wait, hold on. I forgot. I have to use my zoom, but the zoom's going to change. Why are these so small? Okay, I'm a professional artist, bro. Of course I can draw a horse from the front. That's whatever this thing is with these little legs. Or this one on like the old. Do you know exactly how to draw a horse? Yes, of course. I'm an artist. And then you've got whatever these like human eyes are. But this is the one that always gets me from the front. It looks like Humpty Dumpty. That's my favorite. That's me with drawing hats right now, though. Like that this is the personification of me. Yeah, I'm an artist. I know how to draw a hat. And all of a sudden I'm like, fudge. What the hell's a hat look like? I'm a professional. Yeah, so apparently it's Control Plus is what switches to a different thing. So if I stay in, it switches to the iPad drawing one. I don't know. Either way, it works now. I can Control Plus. I'm like a genius now, knowing how to zoom in on Chrome windows. I'm so impressive. Oh, I think that's what's bothering me. That's making it look more cowboy. Is that like when you look at a lot of these wizard hats, they're very flat. Whereas whatever I've drawn here feels like it's a perfect, like it curves up with it. So I wonder if we like make a stronger distinction between brim. Nope. I'm a professional artist. I don't know how to draw a horse. Damn. It still looks a little better though, like thinning this part out. I really want this hat to feel like it's droopy, but apparently I don't know how to do that. That book, the Dungeon Crawler Carl, it's very like video gamey, like you gain abilities and level up and stuff. And it's like, I feel like I'm like sitting here, it's like, hey, yeah, your hat drawing skill, you're not proficient enough in that ability yet. Come back later. Like, oh. Okay. When in doubt, I always just need to stop drawing that thing and go to something different. So, done drawing this hat, or whatever you would call this. For now. Like, I'm gonna try one other thing. I feel like this part just goes way too high up. Let's just say it's better, so I feel like in my head I'm doing more. Yeah, that looks better. But we don't need to tell me. If we warp this guy a little more. It's very tangenty with this curve of the antenna, tentacle, eyeball, whatever. So we finally, it's really, oh, the hat. It is better. Quotes. That's fine. No, so it's funny. So I grew up always going to musicals and listening to musicals and all that kind of stuff. One of my little sisters was always in musical theater herself. My family just liked going to musicals, so I was fortunate enough to go to musicals a lot as, growing up. It's funny because one musical, oddly enough, I never went to, was to see Wicked. Of all the musicals, never saw Wicked live, like not once. I've listened to the soundtrack 1,000 times, like quite literally 1,000 times. I know that soundtrack through and through, word for word. I know all of the music. I've listened to it since Wicked came out, basically. Like we just never ended up. I never ended up. My mom and sister ended up going, I think, to Broadway for that one. Like I've never seen any Wicked. And so the movie obviously came out and we never saw it in theaters, but we had been waiting for it to come to digital, right, to streams. And so we finally watched it right when it went live. I think this was this last weekend or the weekend before, whatever it was. The moment it went live, we watched it, basically. We planned for that. But it was super weird because I know the musical. I thought. I know the music. There are so many little story beats that I never put two and two together for certain things. Like, never put them together. And so seeing it play out in the movie now, or then the actual, the musical idea, like seeing it play out the way it is supposed to be, I'm like, oh my God, wait, what? Like, I feel so stupid that I know these songs like the back of my hand and I sing them regularly. And yet some of the context was lost on me from only listening to the music and not ever being able to see the performance itself. So it was definitely really fun watching the musical now with, the songs were definitely different. I have my own critiques of how certain songs were sung in the new one and stuff like that. But overall, it's fun. It was a lot of fun. But like certain things, I felt like a straight up idiot because like the whole story arc with the animals, I did not grasp that that was such a story beat. Like the idea that the animals are being treated the way they are and stuff is happening. Didn't even realize that. I thought it was like a minor side thing with Dr. Dillamond's song and stuff. Like never thought twice. And even more funny, Dr. Dillamond, his song, I love his song, and that's one song that I think they kind of bungled in the movie then. They didn't like, it didn't feel as good. I legitimately thought he was like a satyr. Like I, for some reason, always pictured Dr. Dillamond as like half animal, half human, and he's singing about other animals because he's like kind of like the representative of like he's like the intermediary or something. Like he is like the in-between kind of, like he's both human and animal, so he like walks in both worlds. I did not realize he's a goat. Like he's just a legit goat. I always thought he was not a goat. Like my mom texted me something that she thought I told her, or she said, I bet you thought I told you. Oh, I told my mom, she just forgot. Anyway, yeah, Dr. Dillman, by the way, is a goat, not a satyr. So like watching the musical, I don't know, it was a lot of fun, and it was cool seeing it with my girlfriend now, to be able to see parts of it together and stuff. But I had not realized at first that it was split, that it's basically right at the intermission that they are like, yep, part 2, which made sense because as the movie was going on, I was like, how we haven't even gotten like halfway through the songs, and I was like, oh, that makes sense because it's only half. Yeah, I don't know why I keep drawing this hat. It just gets worse. Like it gets worse and then better and then worse. I don't know. Let's make this like an actual tear though, so it looks more funny. Like he's coming out. And like I said, with my new stream schedule, I get hungry. Especially so between my new stream schedule and my new morning, like, strictness of getting up on time, boy, oh boy, I get hungry. I think we've still got like 45 minutes before I can go eat. Yeah. Gross. Somebody, beholder, send me food in my mouth. Those look like giant tears. They look like a flower almost. Make it more subtle and simple. What if instead of a pattern, I keep getting hung up on this damn hat. Do we just do traditional then? Do we just say F it? Like I'm trying to be cool, but then I just do the thing, right? I just make it lumpy. I think that's what we do. I'm trying too hard to avoid the stereotype. Just lean into it. Make it happen. I don't know if this eyeball wrinkle is as important. So let's do our buckle. And then, but I want the buckle, It needs to not be interfering with the tear. So what if the buckle goes lower? Like the... We can have it kind of allude to that wrinkle of the eyeball then maybe. Right? Like it kind of folds up. That works. I can just kind of give like a little bit. And then they always have like the actual buckle, which kind of like thinking about that, right? Thinking of the logic. What's the point of the, is it because like they just supposedly put a belt on there and that's why? Are they tightening it? Like, is the buckle there and they're like, oh good, it's on my head. Let me tighten this so it fits more snugly on my head. There's no buckle to it. It's just a metal hunk. Do you know what I mean? It's not a belt. So I wonder how that aesthetic started. Is that like how those hats looked, I guess? I actually don't know the logic of like pilgrimy, like old hats like that. Like, did those just have buckles that were functionless? Maybe they did, and I just never, like, never paid attention. Like most people probably. Like, I get the form, but was there function to it? You would think there had to have been function, especially back then. They didn't do it just for the sake of doing it. You know what I mean? I feel like not much happened back then that was for visuals, especially not if you're coming from that. Like if you know, like you don't have a lot of money or these kind of things, like it seems weird. I guess that's the beauty. We can Google. Why did pilgrims have a buckle on their hat? No, somebody asked it and nobody answered 4 years ago. You've been Googling and it's a rabbit hole. Damn it. Ah. So this says buckles on hats came into style in the later in the 17th century after pilgrims. We associate them now due to paintings from the 19th century that incorrectly depicted them with buckles on their hats and shoes. Suppose it's misrepresentation from artists and hats weren't actually yeah, okay. So that's what I was just reading too, that it's like it's a phony thing that buckles didn't actually exist. Weird. Super weird. Pilgrims did not wear buckle hats and black clothes. That's Puritan garb. Those were the people who the pilgrims were fleeing from because of religious prosecution. But the person says, I'm not sure if you actually, yeah, I don't know. But what about the buckles? I know you're asking buckles didn't come into effect. Okay, so everything seems weird. But that still doesn't answer the question, why are buckles on hats? Like pilgrims may not have worn them, but like, so that actually was just form then. Like the historical ones didn't actually have function. It was just the style. Weird. I'll allow it. I'll allow it. So we learned something today. Pilgrim hats aren't real. And the buckles are pointless. And they actually were just vibing with style. Okay. Look at us learning new things daily. Those such scholarly folks here on stream. Look at us, learned doctors learning. I am totally gonna pull that though, like come Thanksgiving or something. I'm gonna pull that fact at dinner, and people will be like, "Wow, Britton, you're so smart." I'll be like, "I know my hats. I've leveled up my hat skill." I may not have leveled up the drawing of hat skill, but I've leveled up the intelligence skill portion of it, right? Is that how that works? Okay, well, I don't like that hat still, but you know what? I don't care. Still don't know. So the original drawing that they had done is very just basic garb, right? Like it's just leathery, strappy, whatever. How do we make this interesting? Like more detailed, right? How do we give more information to this? Well, first let's give some actual like cadence to how these eyeballs are positioned. So they're wrapping around. That's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. And this one just be cross. What does a cross-eyed beholder look like then? Just looking off to this, like, can that be a thing? I feel like by its very nature, it can look every direction, so it can't be cross-eyed. I always, when I see eyeballs like this, I feel like it's a reference not as many people get. But it was an old anime and a game, Monster Rancher. And every time I see eyeballs like this, that's all I think of as Monster Rancher. Because the main guy, the main like the Pikachu, if you will, of that was like this little eyeball fella. I could not tell you any more about it. It's been a billion years. Monster Ranch. I just can't spell apparently. I don't know who he was at this point. I don't remember, but this giant ass. Oh, wrong screen. This giant ass eyeball fella. Suezo? Are you ordering from a burrito place and getting cheese on top of your burrito? I want my burrito Suezo. Oh, yeah. Weird. Yep. 100%. This is what I picture. Always and forever. This eyeball. Such a weird thing. These eyeballs are, I'm not giving them mouths because that's too much. A little beholder with each eyeball with its own little mouth. No, thank you. That's too much for me. That's a different type of creature entirely, and I don't want a part of that right now. But yeah, Monster Rancher was my jam. The coolest thing about Monster Rancher was the PlayStation 1 game, because you could create monsters from other discs that you had. AKA, you're literally playing your PlayStation, right? 11-year-old B, he's just sitting there playing PlayStation. In the middle of the game, it says, open up. You know, like you go to the ranch, you do your thing, and you are supposed to open up your PlayStation disk drive and put in a different disc. And as a little kid, my brain is like, but it's reading the disc. We're playing Monster Rancher. I can't put in a different disc. It'll turn off the game. And you open it up, take out the Monster Rancher disc, put in a CD, another game, anything, and it reads it, and it created a monster based on the disc you put in. And then you put your Monster Rancher disc back in after it like analyzes the CD you placed. And it was the literal coolest thing I had ever experienced as a kid. Like, that was the point when like technologically my brain like fried itself. I was like, this is the future. Like, my brain was so like, as a kid, you could not tell me technology would get any better than that. Like, yo, we took out the game. I went to school and told people, you take the game out. You literally take it out while it's playing, and it keeps playing. I don't know how it does it. Like, it blew my mind. And you bet, as a kid who had like, my dad was like had so much music. We had so much music in the house growing up, which I'm so grateful for. But so you bet I just loaded up. Like, we had so many CDs. I'm like, oh my God, what does Green Day turn into? What's ABBA turn into? What's AC/DC turn into? oh my God. Like, so cool. And then like when you had those monsters in the game, there was something that made them feel more special then, because like you associated the music, for me at least, I associated the music that created it. Right? Like, I'm pretty sure, why is my brain wanting to say there was like a old, like, oh my gosh, not AC/DC. I don't know, like, my brain is thinking of like an old like hair metal band that turned into like one of the rock creatures that we see here. And I remember being just like, yes, this is him. And like, so like thinking of that, whenever I use that character, I thought of that music, and like it just stuck. Yeah, such a cool idea. Yeah. 10 out of 10, whoever made that game way back then. You blew my literal mind. Like, I hope you know this. You did crazy things. And then I spoke so insanely, probably at school as a little kid, that people were like, what are you talking about? But so long story short, that's what I think of when I'm drawing this. is, you know. And I think, why am I blanking on the band? I don't. It is always funny when you think of the things that like got you as a kid so like amped from. For me, it was a lot of technology stuff because my dad worked in IT, and so we always had computers in the house. We always, because he was able to do it through work, that like we always had like pretty good internet like in our home too for like growing up. Again, obviously today's standards that sounds silly, but like growing up when internet was relatively new in the early 90s, like we always had pretty good internet because my dad was able to argue for work to get it. And but yeah, it's always weird thinking of like the technological things that wowed us, or like, you know, like people of my age that grew up in the, you know, 90s and stuff, that like by today's standards, even from my own sisters, right? My sisters are just, I'm noticeably older than my sisters. And so it's funny that like things that they take for granted and just assume is normal, I'm like, that wasn't normal. That was, you know what I mean? Like it's only 10, 12 years difference between us, but that's enough from a tech perspective. That's a lot of time. So like I grew up with so many different things, you know, even cell phones. My gosh, like never had a cell phone until I was in high school. And then now the idea of like kids not like, you know what I mean? Like I didn't get a phone until I was in high school and I could drive, because then it became like, okay, you're driving, you need some sort of device. You know what I mean? Like, and that was when they were first, you know, had my Nokia, my thick ass, you know, my T9 texting and all that stuff. Whereas like my sisters, when they were like 11, they're like, cool, here's your phone. And it's like, what? That's just part of the norm now. But yeah, it just makes me feel old when I think of that stuff. And so yes, saying like, oh my God, you take the disc out. I bet if you told like little Britain that like, hey man, you're going to be playing without discs eventually, I'd be like, shut up. No way. And I'd be like, yeah, you'll get them from the internet, put them in a thing in your game, and you'll just walk around and play it. And then you can play online with other people. I'd be like, my little brain would just explode. I'd be like the Cartoon Network games I get to play on my computer, like, you know, like on the website, which for anyone who knows, were like the most rudimentary collectory, like collect things, like push a button here and there, like, oh yeah, how times have changed. So I was trying to set the mood of how I wanted these eyeballs to look. That's why I was taking a sec on this guy to see like what I wanted it to look like. Heavily inspired by our pal Suezo over here. Not to be confused with ordering cheese on top of your burrito, because that's something different. Or is it? What if we just make the hat like super beat up? Like there's a hole that doesn't even have an eyeball coming out of it, but maybe it's like his hat has holes in it because the eyeballs always come out. You know what I mean? Like that's why his hat is full of holes, just because these eyeballs, he just rips through them all the time. Again, I was like, I don't draw my own characters or come up with stuff much. I'm lazy, and I 9 times out of 10 just draw like, look at superhero thing that I drew. I'm cool. But when you're making a character, you've got to be thinking, you know, like the logic behind it, like why? Oh no, my battery. why are they doing the things they do? What environmental storytelling can you have for that character? I always forget that, like, when I stream now with this iPad in particular, now that it's been getting old, I can only stream as long as my iPad allows. So, obviously I was getting off in the next half hour, but if my iPad says sooner, it may have to be sooner. Either way, this was a fun, I'm glad I decided not to draw like sexy superhero, do this or that. Like, I feel like I've been drawing, that's what I do so much when I draw now, that I feel like it's like I have to draw a thing that already exists because that's all people care about. And like, yes, this was a lazy middle ground of finding someone else's design and running with it and making it my own. But it still is weirdly, I don't want to say freeing, but like it's just nice not drawing like a person or a superhero, or, you know, like I feel like I always feel like I'm obligated to draw that. And I think that comes from a thing of confidence though too. Like, I know how to draw those things and like they're recognizable, so people know right away when you look at it. Whereas like this obviously is something completely different, and so you're at the whim of the viewer to understand what you're trying to do. Whereas if I draw Ryu from Street Fighter, you know it's Ryu from Street Fighter because you know Ryu. Okay. So I'll maybe draw for like 10 more minutes because then the iPad's gonna die. Let me check something, sorry. But yeah, maybe like 10 more minutes trying to think of like the outfit, and then we'll call it so my iPad can actually charge. But so let's see. So we want, I feel like the eyeball is prevalent, but I wonder if we can make it like just plus it, you know, how can we kind of sell it a little more? I don't really want to do the other eyeballs yet until I like actually have the primary one hammered out then, because everything else is going to fall in place from that. I don't mind how small it is. I do like, I wanted this though. Like I want it to feel like he has a shoulder. Like it's like raised. Like whatever he's doing, this arm is up. And this one is presumably then down. Right? Like some sort of basic pose like this. But now with this weird garb, how do we, I don't want, it can't be too detailed. Like there's already enough going on that if you add more, it just looks hideous. You know, like you won't be able to tell what's happening. So with that, let's, I still want, like, cause he's got like skin around the eye. He's not just an eyeball. Gotta draw them fleshy bits, you know what I mean? Giggity. Gross. So it's kind of like a scarf, right? Over his face here. Of sorts. So I always say draw what you don't see. So I'm drawing what I don't see here. I wonder if we're probably gonna have to move where these connect. like the tentacles. So I'm just going to get rid of it entirely where they connect. And I'm going to get rid of this eyeball. I know I want an eyeball right here, but I can't put it there right now. And the later parts of the stream get worse because I'm so, like at this point, my stomach is, obviously it's a nice microphone. It's not going to pick up my stomach rumbling, but it do be rumbling, let me tell you. So like this would be the colored part, the iris, and that's the black. And then this is the white of the eye. So I'm just trying to like think of spatially where I want the rest. So his head is just a round orb, right? But we do need to see it, I feel like. Including over here. Kind of make it like plump. Funny how chubby somehow he looks fat now. Like before he just looked like an eyeball. Now he looks kind of plump, which is weird. What a twist. I don't mind when I draw messy in the moment, but then when I try and start hammering things out, my brain is like, what am I looking at? Oh, that's what it looks like, a tomato now. It looks like the tomato head from Fortnite. That's what it's reminding me of for some reason. This shape. He's just got a tomato head with an eyeball in it. Not quite what I was going for, but hey, that's where we are. The artist put like, right? He totally's got that. Like, there's something about like the shape of a tomato that's like, it's like a smushed circle, just a little bit. And that's what we got here. Man, I don't think it would be on the, I don't think we uploaded it to YouTube ever. Damn. During my masters, during one of the art jam things, I wonder if it's here. Hold on. I don't think we ever uploaded it though. So we had oh dang, we've got a 15-minute Marvel Rivals. I'm sure it was shared in my group chat with all my buddies and stuff, but there's a 15-minute Marvel Rivals. Shut up. They're adding Hold on. Okay, I'm clicking on this. Hold on. I'm showing this to stream. I don't care about this drawing right now. You've God. So Salvatore Ganacci, right? He is a Swedish DJ. Okay. Is he in the game? Maybe not. I'm sorry. I'm talking without even trying. It's a nope, he is literally in the game. You've got to be kidding me. So Fatal Fury, I've been looking forward to this game. It's a new City of the Wolves, new fighting game. Yeah, he's literally in it. And it was a joke that they added Ronaldo, the soccer player, and everyone was like, what the ever living hell? Why is he in this game? But now we literally have a DJ as well. What are they doing with this game now? There's something weird about, like, I get wanting to include other things, and that's kind of what the world's become thanks to Fortnite. But I feel like there's something about the integrity of the game that gets shot because of it then. Like, for some reason, I look at this game slightly as less than now, because I'm like, the hell is this? Like, this is not... Whatever. Weird. No, we must have never updated it or put it up on YouTube. So during one of our art things in school, we had, I can't remember what they were called. It was like during the weekend. You'd go during the weekend and you'd just be there and animate all weekend. And me and one or two of my other buddies did one called Attack of the Tomatoes. And it was just a giant Cyclops tomato monster. And it was like a little, like an anime intro almost to fight it. Oh, I would love to find that now. I don't know where that exists. I don't think I ever even had the official final movie of it. Yeah, when you're in school and you do like projects left and right, like so much of that stuff gets lost. But okay, but my iPad actually just popped up and said it was literally about to die. So I think that means I need to stop. I don't think this is as fun of a thumbnail, right? This looks weird. So I think I'll stick with the figure drawing one as the thumbnail for now. This looks cool, like it's getting there. I'll monkey with it more, maybe on stream, maybe off, but yeah, I'm not making that a thumbnail. You're 2 hours past your time to eat? Gross. My time on Thursdays is so out of whack, but yeah, I need to, my iPad is like, yo, I'm hungry for some energy. And I'm like, I'm hungry for some food. But yeah, we started out strong today. We had like 8 people chilling. We were cruising. Dwindled down as time went on. But thanks for sticking around. Looks like we've had some lurkers too, which always I appreciate. But yeah. I think this turned out, it was fun just doing something different. So I'm cool with that. Who knows if I'll finish it? Honestly, I'm the worst with finishing things. I'm probably not going to. Spoiler alert. But yeah, cool. Hope you guys have a good weekend ahead. I'm going to go eat. Lopology, you need to go eat too, apparently. 2 hours past your time. Your stomach's gurgling more than mine, I'm sure. So until next week, be kind and kick butt.